following podcast is being brought to you by the Defy Life Podcast Network.
This week on the Defy Life Podcast, the guys have a few guests on as they have a live mock draft. They also give their weekly movie recommendations, and they answer a listener question, and of course wrap it up with some trivia. All that and more. Let's get to it. Yeah, that's what it is. I guess we gotta do it then. You alright? Two, money, West Coast. Let's get it. Strap in, let's take a ride. Oh yeah, it's about that time, right? Been waiting all week to get to this. It's finally time to defy life. Let's chop it up, keep it real, no other way. That's what we do. We might disagree, but it's all love. Guarantee we gon' speak the truth. Yeah, this hit different. My guys with me, now who's with us? Stick around for a few minutes. It's contagious. You'll get it. You downloaded the realest. Don't feel us, forget out. You not rocking with Defy Life, then what's your life about? This ain't the Defy Life. Told you. This is the Shy Life. I'm gonna let this ride out though. This is the Defy Life. Welcome back to the Defy Life Podcast, powered by the Defy Life Podcast Network. This episode is sponsored by Bud Bottles, home of the Bud Bottle and the Bud Freshener. Please visit budbottles.com for your odor eliminating needs. This is episode 154. Y'all come on in, wipe your feet, close the door behind you. I'm your host, J.R. Glimpf, joined as always by my wonderful co-host, Alvin Glimpf. What's good with you, cuzzo?
Man, you would think as the reigning Defy Life trivia champ, my life would be like just all that in a bag of chips. It is. It is.
Oh,
no complaints
man.
over here, homie. Doing good.
Shit.
Doing good.
Good shit. Well, good to hear your voice, champ. It's a special
Yes,
day.
sir. Yes, sir.
No doubt. Yeah, man.
Did Pooh ever respond back about caller referring to me as champ on the show?
He didn't, and now it seems like he's running from you because he ain't hitting. I saw his car in the parking lot. I don't know where the fuck he at, man.
I didn't see a response in that email. Just a suggestion.
Hey.
Instead of Al, just say, "What's up, champ? What you got? What's your thoughts on this?"
Yeah, I mean, you know how Pooh do, man. You know, if he lose to you and some shit, he gonna run from you like he owe you money now. So
the Neek Street.
The Neek Street continues.
Man, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's like Christmas to me, man. It's draft week, so waiting to. Oh, speaking of which, Thomas Stevens has joined us. Pooh,
what up?
How's it going today, sir? I thought he did. Maybe he didn't. Again, we'll do his car out in the parking lot as he don't want to call you champ, but I'm good, man. Again,
it's really not that serious.
It is. You ain't won in 2020. Pooh ain't won trivia in 2020, so it is that serious.
It's a lot. Okay, I get it.
Oh, so that's how y'all gonna.
I knew you was gonna speak up.
What up,
That's how you get him to speak. Yeah. What's good, man?
What's good, man? That's how y'all want to do. What's going on out here?
We're just talking about the Neek Street. That's what we're doing. That's all we're doing.
I mean, it happens to the best of us.
Yeah, I mean, Domino, so you right.
You know, it happens.
Good.
I take not being the best of us then if that's the case.
True that.
Keep me out of them woods. I don't want none of that.
Keep you out of that.
Yeah.
Yo, I had a horrible last night. You know, show will never get going. Hold up, y'all saw it yet?
Huh?
Yes.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
No, man. Go ahead, man. Proceed.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's good to hear your voice, man. Again, it's draft week, man. So I've been on a high all week. It's got my mock done, my 7-round mock, man. Like I was telling Al and Pooh, I'm out of shape. I ain't with this shit no more. So this might be my last year doing a full mock. I'm gonna hand this shit over to Halil. You got it. But the reason I really did it was the competition I do every year. So usually it take me like two days to do my 7-round mock. Yo, I was on like day 4 and I was in round 3. stuck. I was breathing hard. Yeah, biting fingernails, crazy. So finally got it done. Turned my stuff in today, along with my top 100 prospects, and so hopefully the competition goes well. But yeah, it ain't looking good for next year. So we'll see. But yes, with that, it is a special episode. We got some special guests, so we are set up to do our live rotation in this 2020 NFL mock draft. So without further ado, let's bring it on, man. My fellow co-host on the Defy Life Trivia Battleground is here. Regular Scott from Take a Knee for Marvel vs. DC. What's good, Regular?
Man, it's a pleasure to be here on the flagship as always. Thank you for the invite. And I just want to say, Al, I will go ahead and I'm cool with calling you champ. You earned that.
What's up,
man?
Thank you, sir.
How you doing, bro?
I'm feeling good, brother. I'm feeling good. I appreciate the respect.
What's
Thank
good,
you.
Regular?
Already. And my man, hey, look, hey, I can't wait to talk to you later. You know, we definitely. I can't wait to hear what you got to say later.
No doubt.
You know,
Yeah.
about the last thing.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, Pooh, I was trying to squeeze it in before you got here, man, so we can trash your boy without you being here. So, feel free to go sit in your car if you want to, man. While we talk. But
Trash
yeah,
my
man.
boy. who might be my boy?
You're that Jordan fella.
Oh, yeah, no need for that. Y'all can miss me with that.
We'll see how much we miss you. We'll see. Oh man! Next up, as I guess this week, well, he ain't even a guest. I think his seat's still here. His ass cheek print still in it, probably. Money from Unsupervised. How's it going today, sir? Welcome back. You say we kicked you off. We ain't never kick you off. You see your seat's still here. See, we ain't never kick you off, man. How's it going?
No doubt. I'm in the office in downtown Nebraska, and I see I still got gear in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like this, man. It's
like
2
that.
for Tuesdays. The Real is back. It's Mr. Real himself.
Yeah.
What's the deal, y'all?
Oh man, what's good, man? It's good to have you here.
Hey, it's good to be here, man. I appreciate the invite. The regular degular. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good. It's nice to hear your voice, Money. It's always a pleasure to do a show with you. So I'm looking forward to this. This should be a good show.
No doubt. Salute, my brother.
All right. And last but definitely not least, I know he's been on before. He's been on a few shows on the network before, but y'all probably ain't heard him in a while. It's hard to save hoes in a pandemic, so I know he's just been busy. But Terrence, how's it going today, sir?
Wow. That's what I'm doing out there? Hey, man. Hey. Keep that on the low now. People listening to this.
Everybody got a role to play, man. You're a first responder, man.
Hey,
Blame it on money. Blame it on money.
You're right. Everyone got a job. You're absolutely right. But it's hard out here fighting crime all day. How y'all doing?
Oh, man, we good, man. Thanks for joining us.
Good. It's the only time I can catch Pooh is on one of these shows. So
Hey,
I'm glad to be
You're a
on.
busy man.
It's out.
They call him James Brown around these parts. He's the busiest man in podcasting. Oh, man. Well, thank you all for joining us, man, again. We got a big show lined up. We got the live mock draft where each of these gentlemen will take turns picking for each team in the first round. I'm sorry that it worked out this way for Scott and myself and Pooh. None of our teams have first round picks. So,
Wow.
Lucky guys like Al get 2 picks for his teams. And, but either way, this is going to be fun. But before we get there, Scott, you mentioned it. So let's talk about it. And I'll just go around the room. Let's, Al, you first. Have you watched the first couple episodes of The Last Dance?
Honestly, I've watched probably about 30 minutes of it. So I haven't watched the entire episode.
That bad, huh?
Both episodes. And yeah, I'm honestly as a Knicks fan, I think it's one of them things that it kind of stirs up bad memories of him going through the Knicks in those finals, the conference final. So I'll catch it. I mean, I will watch it. And what I did watch was interesting, but I'll be honest, a lot of it I remember too. So it's like the 30 minutes that I watched, I didn't learn anything new. But I will watch it because I heard some good feedback from my son, particularly about the Scottie Pippen surgery conversation, the hostility he had towards ownership. So I will watch it just to see some of that drama.
Okay. Pooh, I know you already checked out both episodes. You probably watched them twice already. You excited about you excited about this series and the rest of the episodes?
I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
What is there? What's not to love? Right. I mean, all that's missing. All that's missing is if Tupac show up in episode 5, that's all that's missing.
Oh man! Wow. Wow.
Oh,
Hey, I'm 16, 17 again. I feel like I'm 16, 17 again watching.
Right. No doubt. Yeah. Well, yeah, I knew it went without saying that you were enjoying it. Scott, I know you had some pretty strong feelings about it before it came on and after you watched it. What are your thoughts so far, and what were your reservations before you watched it?
So some of my reservations before I watched it was the Jordan propaganda, and the LeBron hate for no reason, like no reason. There's no I already knew this is before I watched. I just knew people were gonna be like, this is what I'm talking about. This is why LeBron would never be this. This is why LeBron would ever be this. This is why he's so much better than these guys in this era and all this stuff.
Oh man.
So that's pregame. So the game goes, Last Dance starts. Let me just say that it's an excellent documentary. Let me just throw everything about it, the way it's shot, people's seems like they're genuine reactions. I think it's really well done. The Scottie Pippen thing. No buts. The Scottie Pippen thing, just, I hope people really pay attention to that and realize that, and I heard what Jordan said, that when you mention Jordan, you should be mentioning Scottie Pippen. It shouldn't just be Jordan. It should be Jordan and Scottie because it's Batman and Robin. Yeah. But and that's a whole nother thing too. I will say, I will admit Jordan's a monster. Like, and there was no denying that beforehand. And this just goes to glorify that, which is fine. But it's really good. I'm not like in love with it and feel like I'm reliving my younger years or anything about it. But it's fine.
All right, Money. Heard you chime in. You must be chomping at the bit to respond.
I'm chomping at the bits, man. Honestly, I haven't seen it yet. But I'm like out, I remember this stuff. So my question is why? My question for regular is why couldn't you watch it just with the appreciation of what it is? Why did you even because when I haven't even thought at all about LeBron James or Kobe Bryant or any other player. I just want to watch and enjoy the documentary itself. So my question is why did you think to already have this, mentality of people going to be coming for X, Y, and Z when I think most people just wanted to see the documentary?
So I think part of that is the everyday common when you look at NBA stuff, just on social media or just on sports talk, it's LeBron versus Jordan. And then, so this debate starts coming up, or this documentary. And anytime you see the documentary, there's always something about LeBron or something about Kobe or something about players of this era. And part of the reason, I could watch the documentary, but kind of like what you both said, I knew most of this, like as far as like the game, like what was going on the floor. Like a lot of that I kind of knew. Like some of the behind the scenes stuff was pretty new to me, like the ridiculous contracts and stuff. But I mean, that's kind of why I was with those reservations, because would it surprise you? Is it surprising that that's something that comes up?
It doesn't surprise me. It's just like to have a predetermined notion though. I think that's what made me raise the question.
True.
Well, he wasn't wrong.
I don't think it's a bad documentary at all. I just,
Yeah. Well, he wasn't wrong. I mean, I've seen just today countless. This is why Mike's this, and this is why LeBron or Kobe or.
Oh man!
So I've seen it. I'm saying you asked the question, and I saw.
I'm saying, oh man, about that shit. Like I just don't think, like I don't, especially since we done lost Kobe and LeBron's the last. You know what I'm saying? He's a Mohican right now.
Right, and
so
that's
my
thing.
I think we should just be able to enjoy our great ones.
Right. Really, just for me, and before I get to Terrence. It's just I hate dredging up this argument every time it comes up, because you get dudes just want to scream and talk over each other and post stupid memes. So I just hate that it dredges up this argument. We've had enough of our share of it on here. So I don't know, Terrence, what did you think? What are your thoughts on The Last Dance?
Well, here's the deal. I'm like Money and Al. I haven't really seen it. What I will say is, like, I grew up being like a diehard Bulls fan. You know what I'm saying? So Michael Jordan could do no wrong in my eyes. However, as I've gotten older, I'm realistic about this, right? So I think Michael Jordan is the greatest, but I just think, like, for me, like, when I look at the greatest, I don't look at it from a just basketball perspective. I look at, like, all the other outside stuff that people do. No. So for me, there's a difference. But to your point, I think we've just been conditioned, right, to always say, like, hey, if we talk about Michael, then we got to talk about LeBron.
Right.
It's almost like when I met my wife, like, shit, I grew up eating rice and macaroni and cheese all the time. In her house, it was rice and mac and cheese, or mac and cheese. You can't have both, right? So
what the hell?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. So you think about it, like, I'm conditioned to have both, but she's conditioned to say it's either got to be one or the other, right?
Right.
And I think that we've just been conditioned as sportsaholic and sports fans that if you mention Jordan, then you gotta mention LeBron. If you mention Brady, then you gotta somehow find a way to mention Peyton, right? So Joe Montana, who's the greatest, it's never like, hey, he's great. Now what about this guy? So it's a part of our nature. Right. But I look forward to watching it. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. I'm not going to agree with everybody. Like, for one, like we always say, whenever you start talking about the greatest of the greats of anything, it's going to be subjective. So it's all about what you appreciate, what you value, especially when you start ranking and comparing players. But I think, for one, this is a good opportunity to appreciate and revisit the greatness of that Bulls team. Like Al said, I haven't learned anything new yet, so I'm hoping the next, the 8 episodes remaining kind of give us, I'm sure it will, because we never had access, and I think that's kind of which is why I say it's more propaganda for Michael, because I think a lot of his greatness is because of his mystique, and we didn't have that access to Michael like we have to players today. So I think this will give us a lot of access that we didn't have in those days, which we should appreciate, because anytime we can get more access and more sound bites and images of our greats, we need to appreciate that. So, but at the same time, I do agree with Scott that it is propaganda. We've been trained and conditioned since we were 10 years old to think that Michael Jordan is the greatest and nobody will ever be better. And if you do question it, it's almost like, who the hell you think you are? So I agree with everybody, and it's about your perspective, but I'm going to appreciate it, and then I'm going to talk shit about it after it's over. Am I right? So.
Or you get called a Trump supporter.
Or I get called a Trump supporter. Shout out to
and they say, I wish you had the Roro.
And they'll tell me you wish I had the
What you got? I hope you get the Rona.
Right. Oh shit. Oh man.
Rough out here in the
Right.
streets.
Oh man. Well, again, before we get too deep into the show, like always, want to do some house cleaning. So I just want to shout out a couple patrons before we get too deep. So for our first patron, I want to shout out is everybody here knows my main man, movie man Miggs. Shout out to Miggs, man. Thanks for your support. Thanks for everything you do on the network. And also Mike Hall. Shout out to you, Mike. That's Kim's baby brother. So, shout out to Mike. Thank you for your support. We're shouting out you too this week. But we appreciate all of our patrons. Without you, we couldn't do what we do. So everybody always asks, what's the best way to support the network? Go to patreon.com/Go Defy Life and become a patron of Defy Life for less than an almond Snickers or a pack of M&Ms. Whatever the hell you want. Oh. It's less than that shit. Oh. So you can support the network and go to Patreon and do that. Also visit us at GoDefyLife.com, DefyLifePods.com, and DefyLifeGear.com. Al, is that everything?
I think that's it, my brother.
That's it? Well, let's get on to business then. So, as usual, for the last, 3 weeks, y'all, we've been giving our movie recommendations for people that's on the sick and shut-in list and at home during this quarantine. And we got a listener question a few weeks ago about our recommendations for movies and TV shows. So we just been getting our own little recommendation movie every week. So, as usual, I'll start off with mine. Get straight to it, is The Ascent. Has anybody ever seen The Ascent? About these girls that go exploring in a cave and end up coming across these cave dwellers. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
No, buddy.
No, Terrence says like I ain't watching that shit.
Listen, I ain't trying to be a bitch baby or nothing like that, but I ain't watching that.
What? It ain't even scary.
Hey, look here, man. It's a cave, it's dark, and it's a white girl. So
that's all he need.
That's all
man,
I
just sleep with one of your guns, then you will be all right.
I'll sleep with all
right.
Y'all, that's actually really what I do when I watch a scary movie. I actually sleep with one of my guns.
Man, go ahead.
I'm not
right. Come on, man. Get out of here.
First of all, I almost sleep with one of my guns.
You worse than Terrence.
Hey, whatever.
At least Terrence ain't gonna watch it. You up here talking shit. Oh, come on, you gotta watch the shit. Hey, anybody seen my gun? Anybody seen my gun? I gotta put my shit under my bed.
Hey, my gun, and I can't go to bed without my gun.
Right. I can't sleep without my gun, man. Terrence old punk ass won't even watch it.
You damn real.
No, I will not. And you know what? You call me that. I'm good with that. I'm not gonna watch it. Last time I watched a scary movie was the most recent It. And man, I could have swear I saw Pennywise in my bathroom.
Go ahead.
It was scary.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Look here, man. I don't like clowns like that. There's a difference between.
Yeah, I don't like clowns either. You're right.
Look, I need to be clear on this. There's a difference between not liking and being scared. I ain't scared of clowns. I don't like them. Right?
Gotcha.
I don't like them. There you go.
Well, y'all check out The Ascent, man. For everybody that's out there, it's I'm not really into scary movies. Most of them are funny to me. So this one wasn't really a scary movie, but it was a little different because they weren't trying to like get you with all the jump scares and all that shit. So it was pretty cool. Al, what's your recommendation for the week, sir?
We might have mentioned this already, but I finally got to watch it, which was The Banker.
Oh,
and it was just a great movie with I never remember his brother's name, but Sam Jackson and Anthony Mackie.
Anthony Mackie.
Yeah. Great movie about two entrepreneurs in the 60s, and it's kind of dope because it just, we all about building wealth, so it shows you, what our challenges were in building wealth 50, 60 years ago. They still, many of them remain the same, but good story, Probably a story that most of us did not know about these two entrepreneurs out in LA buying property, buying buildings 6 years ago. So just an amazing story, well done. So I highly recommend The Banker.
Yeah, it was a good. That's good. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Pooh, what's your recommendation for the week, sir?
Man, y'all might not believe this, but Al just took mine, yo. Because I was chilling, laid back. I didn't think no one would have mine. I'm preparing me a caramel salted frosted lemonade from last night because that joint was banging. But I'm gonna go with Monsters and Men. It's a low doc movie. I think it was played at Sundance with Denzel Washington's son. John David. Yeah, it's pretty dope. I'll go with that.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Yeah.
All right. Scott, you got a movie recommendation for us?
Yeah. So one movie that I've actually seen a couple times. It was on once and I watched it and I had never seen it before. And then I came on again and I really enjoyed it. So Dazed and Confused.
Okay.
I was 4 years old when this came out, so I didn't see it at the time. I just saw it. I think it's really pretty funny. It still holds up pretty well today, which is a testament to that type of humor and whatnot. A lot of pretty big names in the movie. A young Ben Affleck, Matthew McConaughey, his first role, Mila Jokovic, just a whole lot of people in that movie. But yeah, Dazed and Confused.
Good one. That's a classic. All right. Money, what's your movie recommendation for the week?
Let's see. I'm gonna have to go. It's crazy that you mentioned Ben Affleck, man, because I'm gonna have to go with the movie Gone Girl.
That was a great movie.
Yeah,
I thought it's low. Like Gone Girl is a low key. Like if you haven't seen it and you just like hear that, Gone Girl is a solid, strong movie. With Rosamund Pike and Ben Affleck. You ain't seen it coming. If you haven't seen it, you ain't seen it coming. I definitely recommend it. Check it out.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah. Terrence, what scary movie you got for us this week?
You're not gonna get one of them, buddy. I just saw this movie again, man. But The Last Castle with Robert Redford.
Yeah. I never saw that.
Yeah, it's pretty tough, man. Yeah, like I'm a big Robert Redford. He's like this is like in his prime, like towards the end of his prime. He's in this movie, but he's a decorated general, and he disobeyed an order, so he got sent to jail. So this is about his time in jail.
Okay.
Like he kind of brings all the different groups in the jail together and stuff like that against the board. It's pretty tough.
Okay. Make sure I check that one out. All right. Well, those are our movie recommendations for the week. Y'all check them out. If y'all want to tell somebody their movie was dope or their movie was whack and you wasted your time, let us know. Hit us up. We want to know what you think.
Descent, garbage.
Hey, you gonna get an email from Terrence.
Right.
It sent in. It was awful.
That shit was terrible. Who is this, Terrence?
I hope you get the coronavirus.
I hope you get the corona.
Only Trump supporters watch that movie. Oh, man. So quick question before we get into this live mock draft. We always want to check in, make sure everybody's good. So, Pooh, is everybody good, during these COVID corona times? Everybody in your circle good? And question is, what are you doing? What are you and your family doing to stay active while we're stuck in the house?
Man, as far as I know it, everyone's doing well. Had a few scares, had a few check-ins. But as far as I know, everyone's, that was tested have been spotted negative. So that's a blessing in itself. But keeping everybody loose, man, we get out, the kids ride bikes, we go to the mall. Since it's like a desert out there, it's just a empty parking lot with tumbleweeds. We go out there, man, and they ride their bikes. We run, we jog, we play baseball and t-ball. That's crazy. We're playing T-ball in the mall parking lot.
No doubt.
Because, it's no one else but us. But we finding different ways, man, being creative, playing games, this, is that, and the third. So everyone's keeping their sanity right now.
Jay?
Lost him?
I thought it was me.
It says he's
All right.
still here.
I'm here. I was on mute and talking to myself. Of course. You hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yes, sir.
My bad. Well, good stuff, Pooh. Al, what you and your family doing to stay active?
Man, I'm trying to stay balanced with it, right? So at this point, I try to ride my bike probably about 2-3 days a week, do about 6.5 miles riding. My son got inspired and he's taking that shit to a whole nother level. So he's up to over 12 miles riding. My daughter, she does workouts every now and then. Gina does working out, jogging. So definitely from a physical side, at least I definitely feel like as a family, maybe it's just me, maybe they've been doing it and I'm just trying to kick it up a little bit. But trying to balance it. So I'm trying to also have fun with it because I know I got some millennials who don't really enjoy being cooped up. So trying to throw some games in, trying to do karaoke in, trying to play a little spades, barbecue, trying to, keep it sort of lively to as best as you can, considering it's a fucking pandemic. So you can't keep that out of the reality is that, I know people who are sick. I know people who have lost people. So, that's real. But at the same time, we trying to keep it moving and keep active. I think one thing I wish I could do a little more is tap into some of my creative, be more creative and shit. So whether it was writing or just something, I feel like that's where I'm not meeting the standard where I want to be. I need to be more creative. But,
No doubt.
just trying to balance it out.
I feel you. All right. Terrence, what y'all doing to stay active, man? Is everybody good?
Yeah, man. Right now, everyone's good. My mom has been pretty biblical right about now, about we live in the last days. Every time I talk to her, because of everything that's going on. I know for me right now with my girls, what we've done a lot of is just silly stuff, man. Like just going outside, playing kickball or playing with silly string. I think after I get off work, one of the things that I like to do is just jump in the truck, get them in the truck, and then just cut the block. And sometimes we just drive down towards the beach on the coast, and with the windows down, get some fresh air, and just let them talk.
True.
So that's pretty much what we've been doing.
All right. Scott, you got a 10-month-old, so I know you active and busy. What are y'all doing? Is everybody good?
Yeah, everybody's good. Grayson is he's starting to kind of do the little walk as you slide on a wall or on a rail. So he's just crawling around the house, pulling himself up all over the place. So yeah, we stay pretty active with that. My wife, she's been walking ever since she had him about 3 miles a day. So, she's been pretty active. I have gotten more active with this quarantine. We've been going to the park and I've been walking about 2 miles with her. I hate walking. I'll go run a mile. I'll go play any sport, but walking sucks. Like that is the absolute worst thing ever. Yeah. So, but I'll do it. It's nice. It's nice family time. I know she appreciates, us, her and the baby and the dog. As she calls it, it's her very special day, the family time. So we've been walking as a family to stay active and kind of bond a little bit.
Cool, good stuff, man. Money. Everybody,
that's cute.
Everybody good in your circle, man.
Hey, man, you got to do the family stuff, man.
Cute, man.
Hey, look.
You sound jealous. Why you sound jealous?
He did, didn't he?
I say cute with nothing but respect, my brother. I've been there. I say cute with nothing but respect.
This is early. This is a year one. You know, with the baby. Maybe next year I can be like, nah, I'm good. But I definitely couldn't say no. This
Nope.
Well,
Hey man, if you
I
mess
doubt
around,
you'll be able to say it next year either.
right.
you right.
Pooh can probably relate. But if you mess around and have more kids, you won't be walking. Not with 3 kids. That's a lot of work.
Right.
That's a lot of work. If you want to go a different way.
Yeah.
Good point.
Well, in that case, then, Money, what kind of gangster shit you been doing to stay active during this?
Hey, you know,
Running these streets.
All right.
some the only one without, you know, young ones and all that. You know, I'm not doing any of that shit. I'm just smoking a lot of weed. Like,
Damn. Okay.
Wow.
drinking a lot of drink, know what I'm saying?
Sleeping with your guns.
Watch sleeping with my gun. You know, every now and then I walk outside and ask who want this work, who want to get this stick. You know, I'm trying to find some beef to get into or something. Like,
Hey, you do that before you watch the movie to psych yourself up.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, funny.
nah, man. I'm just chilling, man. You know, I do definitely get out. I'm working out like in my place, like kind of solo dolo, and you know, I take these little trips out where I just take a drive. Or the other day, crazy story, real fast. I went to Walmart, ran out of juice. I'm good on food, but I run out of things to drink a lot. So I went to Walmart. I'm in Walmart, get my little juices. I'm in line and I'm checking out. Boop. Boop. Everybody's 6-7 feet away. Boop. And to the left of me, there's an older gentleman. And I don't see this, but I hear it. And I see it in my peripheral vision. He's walking by, and he just face plants. Bloom, bloom, bloom.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's groceries, canned corn rolling all over the place. And the first thing I thought was, shit, I gotta go help him up. And as I took one step to my left, I looked at him, and drool and shit was coming out of his mouth.
Oh, shit.
And I just freaked the fuck out. I was like, oh, this nigga got the virus and he is spreading it right now. I'm trying to go help. This nigga about to kill me. So y'all know what I did. I was the only person even in his immediate vicinity. Y'all know what I did.
Ew, and ran, didn't you? That's what you
Left
did.
him there.
Right. You all right?
So
That's crazy.
Hey, that's tough, bro.
So
How you gonna come check on that man and leave him?
no, the Walmart.
Season.
Hey,
Stop playing.
in my mind, the Rona had just went on attack on this man.
Right. Money,
Like that's all I can see
is
is
he
the Rona getting all over me for real. I'm dead serious. So
Is he dead?
like,
Is he dead?
Of course he's dead.
What you mean is he dead? He nigga got all types of blood and shit coming out of me. He's fucking dead.
yeah, so
He got the Romo.
the Walmart people come up and they decide that they gonna help him up and they wouldn't bring him a chip. Yo, I was trying out the machine could not give me my receipt fast enough for me to get the fuck out of there because like I said, in my mind he was under attack. And like when I saw that shit coming out of his mouth, I was like, "Oh my god!" I don't know how to Rona look or anything like that, but I can see this shit come from his mask. I was, "Oh, I'm out of here. I am fucking out of here." I've been taking my fucking temperature ever since, like every 4 hours. Like,
Wow.
Hey, you did the right
I'm not mad
thing.
at you.
Yeah, that is not socially distant. Trying to help that man. You made the right decision.
Right.
Yo, man, if I was out with you and I had a jacket on, I'd zip it up. Just
Yeah.
like,
Right.
no part of that shit.
Right. Leave that shit to the professionals. Let them slide.
Yeah.
Yeah, real talk.
All right. We're good, man. Yeah. I've been, we got a workout schedule in the house. So, again, my wife got me these Bowflex adjustable dumbbells for my birthday. We've been putting them to use. So I got a schedule. I work my wife out in the mornings whenever she decides to show up to class. And then work my kids out. And they all excited because they clothes fitting different. They getting cuts and shit, places they didn't have cuts before. So, having fun with that. Just
fun and games and stuff that we don't normally get a chance to do a lot of. So just quality time is better. So of course we bicker at each other more than we usually do because I'm sick of seeing their face.
Yeah.
Sick of seeing mine.
Yeah.
But overall, everything's good. Nobody close to me has been hit, by this thing. So I'm thankful for that. So just gotta keep remaining safe, man.
Yeah, that's good, man. Yeah, I mean, I've been playing little cards, trying to teach my daughter how to play spades. I can't have a child come out of my home and be embarrassing me at the reunion because they can't play spades, yo. So I'm trying to take advantage of this time in a real productive way.
Okay. All right. Well, cool, man. Well, glad everybody's safe and glad you all are finding ways to remain active and stay with your families and keep it up. We might be if we leave it to the Trump supporters, we'll be back out. Everything will be normal in 2 days. By next Thursday, we'll be out.
Man.
Yeah.
Hey,
crazy
I'm
right
down
now,
here in
man.
Georgia, man. They opening up on Friday.
Yeah.
What the hell, man? That's crazy. I saw that.
Barbershops, hair salons, like tattoo parlors, gyms. Like they are opening up Friday, and then restaurants on Monday.
Wow.
And like the number of our cases and our deaths are increasing.
Right.
They're not going down. We going up, and our governor has opened up our our state. So fortunately, some mayors are pushing back, but that's where we at down here.
That's wild. Well, we hope everybody stays safe and again, stay active, take care of yourself, keep your immune system up. We are going to jump into a commercial, and we'll be right back with this live mock draft.
All
right.
Welcome to the Anything, Everything, and Nothing podcast with Lynn and Kim. Join us as we discuss the latest in everything from entertainment and current events to the craziness that is our real life.
Let's laugh, let's live, let's talk about it. New episode every Tuesday on the Defy Life Podcast Network. And remember, if you're not defying life, then what are you doing? Lynn and Kim.
Welcome back to episode 154 of the Defy Life Podcast. We left off, we just talked some Corona updates, gave our movie recommendations, like we always do. But it is time for this live mock draft. Guys, does everybody have your draft order in front of you?
I do.
All right. So, for those of you out there who don't know, I'll play Roger Goodell in this episode. And I will be taking the picks. These gentlemen will be GMs for every NFL team in the first round, and they will take turns in rotation. Those of us who have favorite teams that have picks in the first round will get the pick for those teams. So, of course, guys, you will have 1 minute to turn in your pick. All right. And does everybody have my number? Everybody has got my number. You will text me your pick. I will announce the pick.
Okay.
Sporty artist.
That just took a twist. I love it. Yeah, that definitely took a twist. I thought I was going to say it out loud.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
So,
It's official.
so you will text me your pick. I will announce it. So I guess I'll be playing Roger Goodell / John Gruden or whoever, Mike Mayock. Now they both ain't on. I play Mel Kiper, so I play both. So I will announce the pick and give a little bit of analysis on the pick as well.
Oh, real talk, Jack.
man.
I really appreciate that because I don't know how to pronounce some of these names. So go look at it.
No doubt.
I ain't want to say it.
Terrence gonna be like the Philadelphia Eagles select Brett Favre from Southern Mississippi. Oh man,
I'm feeling that.
All right, so without further ado, the Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock. That pick has already been turned in, probably just like in real life. So Al is picking for the Bengals, and Al has selected quarterback Joe Burrow from LSU. Again, this is probably as good as a guarantee as you can get in the world right now that Joe Burrow is going to be a Bengal. So, it's analysis on this pick. Again, I think everyone knows this is going to happen. I think it's a great opportunity for the Bengals to get their first franchise signal caller since Carson Palmer and try to catapult them back into, competition for consistent playoff status. So, and they've got some pretty good pieces around them. So really good opportunity for them to add the quarterback, move on from Andy Dalton, and officially start a new era. So good job, Al. And
Thank you very much.
No problem. With that, the Washington Redskins are on the clock, and they have already run their pickup to the podium. Thomas Stevens is representing the Washington Redskins. Washington with the second pick in the 2020 NBA draft. Washington selects Chase Young, pass rusher from Ohio State. Analysis on this pick. I like this pick. I agree with it. There are some people that say Washington should go with Tua in this slot. Tua Tagovailoa, quarterback from Alabama. But you just drafted Dwayne Haskins. I think they have to give him a shot. Although they do have a new regime there. But Chase Young is a difference maker. So he's going to transform that defense immediately from day one. So good job, Pooh.
Appreciate it.
All right. With that, the Detroit Lions are on the clock. Representing Detroit is Money. You have 1 minute. I will be awaiting your pick, sir.
Well, while we wait on the pick, let me just say, as the Bengals, we are real happy with our quarterback. Feel like we got a franchise quarterback, and he's going to help us compete real quick.
Yeah. So, Al, what do you think you do? Do you keep Andy Dalton around? Do you try to trade him today? Over the next few days during draft day, or what do you do with Andy Dalton?
I would definitely hope that they flip him and really pass the reins over to this young quarterback. He's a mature quarterback, unlike some of the other quarterbacks that have come out, last few years. He's 23, I believe. So to pass it over to him, I think would be a great move on the Bengals part.
Absolutely. Detroit's pick is in. Money is sending in that pick with the third pick in the 2020 NFL Draft. The Detroit Lions select Derek Brown, defensive lineman from Auburn.
Sabotage.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, our first shocker of the first round.
Sabotage.
Yeah. Hell of a player. I think Detroit may be reminiscing of the days of Ndamukong Suh and want to get stronger up front. They did lose Snacks Harrison. Derek Brown is a perfect place to start with that. People are all over the place with Detroit's pick here. Some people even saying quarterback, but very solid piece if you're looking to rebuild from the inside out. Good job, Money. All right. As we were speaking, Regular Scott has, who is representing the New York Giants, has submitted his pick for the Giants with the fourth pick in the 2020 NFL Draft. Regular Scott and the New York Giants select Isaiah Simmons, linebacker / safety from Clemson. Oh, man. He is, and he meaning Simmons, is the most versatile player in this draft, especially on defense. You can line him up everywhere. He can put him at linebacker. He can, be a Derek Brooks type and chase down plays. If you put him at safety, he can be he's really good at center field. And not saying he's comparing the players, but you can put him in a Earl Thomas role if you want to. You can put him in the Cam Chancellor role down in the box. You can move him around everywhere. So really good pick. Good chess piece for the Giants defense. Good pick, Scott.
Appreciate it.
All right. Next up are the Miami Dolphins, represented by Terrence. And that pick has just come in. With the 5th pick in the first round of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Tua Tagovailoa, quarterback from Alabama. You definitely don't want Ryan Fitzpatrick as your long-term option at quarterback. So nobody wants that shit. So very good pick. The lefty out of Alabama. If he can stay healthy, he has the highest upside of any quarterback in this draft. So good pick, Terrence. All right, with that, Pooh and the LA Chargers are on the clock.
It's always got to be suspense with Pooh.
Right. But while we wait for the pick to come in, I want to let's talk to Scott about his pick for Isaiah Simmons for the Giants. What are your plans with Isaiah Simmons?
Well, everything you said about him just really appealed to us. You know, the versatility is something that I think is very attractive, especially since we think he can be a cornerstone on the defensive end. And, you know, we're really trying to build foundation and build blocks to kind of, build this foundation on. And I think he's one of those. Offensively, you already know what we're doing with Saquon. And I think defensively, that versatility can be very deadly. We're going to add a couple more pieces here, a couple later rounds. We have plans for this offseason, so I'm really excited about it.
All right, the pick is in. Pooh has selected his pick for the LA Chargers at number 6. With the 6th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the LA Chargers select Justin Herbert, quarterback from Oregon. So nice replacement there for the now moved on, the now Indianapolis coach, Phillip Rivers. They do have Tyrod Taylor in tow as a Charger, but of course he's not your long-term answer. But he can kind of be a bridge if you need him to. Herbert is a guy who's extremely talented. If you want to, slide him in from day one, you can. But you don't have to because you have the luxury of having a veteran there already. So really good pick, Pooh, and officially move on from the Phillip Rivers era. Next up, the first of us picking for one of our favorite teams, Money picking for the Carolina Panthers at number 7. You have a minute to turn your pick in, sir. While we wait for that pick to come in, let's see who's going to talk to. Terrence, what do you think Tua offers in Miami that they don't currently have?
Intangible. And I think that he's a consistent quarterback. I think he's been in the pro-style offense. He's had the ability to run with the ball, quarterback runs, as far as even just patience as far as on routes and making sure he hits his receivers in stride. I think with him and Joe, for me, like you said earlier, like Joe is the safe pick, but that's to me, that's just 1 year of production. Every year, Tua's had production. He should have won the Heisman at one point, right? So, I think the only question I think that Miami has is, which was challenging for me, was picking between him and Justin, is do I want to be tied to this kid if he's injury prone? Right. And do I want to, or do I want to miss out on this kid and he's freaking Drew Brees,
right?
Yeah. So I think the odds-on favorite is this kid's going to be a star. So
right, swing for the fences. Absolutely.
What year should he have won the Heisman?
Here
Pooh.
we go.
Yeah, you're a GM. You're not an analyst, sir.
Oh, my bad.
We can have that debate, not now, but we can.
Right, because the pick is in. So Money is sitting his pick for the Carolina Panthers, and with the 7th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Jeffrey Okudah, cornerback from Ohio State. Damn good pick. We in today's NFL we have
Detroit up.
Oh, you peeped that? Peeped that?
That's wild, man.
Wow.
Man, Detroit can go in 2 directions, and we can go in like 6 directions. So whatever.
Oh
man, they lost the safety and 2 corners, and you drafted a D tackle for them. My bad, Jay. My bad.
They need D help. Just send their help.
All right. Okay, OJ.
Oh man. Well,
Who do you pick again? Who do you pick again, Jay?
Jeff Okudah, the cornerback from Ohio State. Okudah's really, really good. In today's NFL, it's a term that we throw around a lot, but we probably only have 2 lockdown corners in this league. So Okudah is one of the guys who has potential to be one of those. So, I guess those are the benefits of being GMs for multiple teams. You can play this shit how you want to.
He pulled off his own little trade.
He did. It's like NBA version. We're going to draft him for you. You draft him for us. Next on the board, we have the Arizona Cardinals, represented by Regular Scott. Scott, you have 1 minute to turn your pick in, sir. While we wait for Scott to turn his pick in, Pooh.
It's good.
Tell us more about how my money sabotaged the Lions to get the Panthers the pick he wants.
Hey, because he's a diehard Panther, man, and for some reason someone gave him the keys to the car over there in Detroit, and I mean he sabotaged them. I mean, Brown he's a wonderful player, so I guess it's hard to say they were sabotaged by getting Brown, but they need safety help all over the place. I mean, they need secondary help all over the place.
They don't also need defensive line help though.
Not like safety.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not like secondary. They lost like 4 secondary players.
I bet you in that war room they're considering Derek Brown at 3.
No,
Consider it and picking it.
Selecting.
No. Hey, we'll see what
I'm not
happens.
considering that.
We'll see what happens.
Oh man, well the pick is in. Regular Scott has turned his pick in for the Arizona Cardinals, and with the 8th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals and Regular Scott have selected Tristan Wirfs, offensive tackle from Iowa. Damn good pick. Wirfs, one of those guys who, if you put him at left tackle, he played right tackle in college. If you want to start him off at right tackle, fine. If you want to start him off at left tackle, fine as well. And if neither one of those work, I think he'll be an all-decade guard if you need him to be. So he's one of those guys who's not going to be a bust wherever you put him, even if he doesn't reach his potential. So really good pick. All right. Next on the clock are the Jacksonville Jaguars, represented by Terrence. Sir, you have a minute to get your pick in. While we wait for Terrence to submit his pick, Money, please answer Pooh's question. When should Tua have won the Heisman, sir?
Let's not do that.
Maybe, let's see. Probably, I would say his sophomore year.
Okay.
The sophomore year.
Yeah, I'd probably say his sophomore year.
Instead of Kyler Murray?
I mean, I'm just like, I don't think he should have won the Heisman. I'm just saying if he had a shot at winning it, it was.
Look, I know you posed this question to Money, but it's my question. Right? Here's the deal, man. That kid, the level of competition he was facing, I'm not saying that Kyler Murray isn't a beast, but it's easy to run up the score when you play Madden on rookie. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I mean, what defenses was he facing, man? Like, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I just feel like Tua just had and here's the deal. I hate Alabama. I need you to understand that. Like, I hate them with a passion. But the kid he deserved to win the Heisman that year. He was a beast.
I just think that's a double-edged sword because, I mean, if Kyler Murray would have played with parade All-Americans up and down the field, first, second, and third string, who knows what he could have done as well.
No, but
he would have been on that Bama team.
He did, though.
Not like no.
Kyler Murray?
You can't. No. You can't compare Oklahoma to Bama.
I'm about to refute that because Oklahoma, if you want, we're gonna start off with the offensive line, and I'm just stating facts. Oklahoma had 3 offensive linemen to be. They were voted the best offensive linemen in the country. They had 3 offensive linemen to be drafted in the first 3 rounds. One in the first round, one in the second, one in the third, and another in the 5th. They also had C.D. Lamb, who is there now, who was going to be a first-round pick. We'll hear his name shortly. They also had Holly Brown, who's another first rounder.
Okay.
They also had Mark Andrews, who's another first rounder at tight end.
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure out where Oklahoma is less than on the offensive side than Alabama.
That offensive line wore down those guys.
At this point in time, I'm not going to be able to reel off names. However, I can write them down, and I guarantee you, I can give you a laundry list of them. A laundry list. You know, even just right now, I mean, a laundry list. I'll just leave it at that.
Right.
That year when they played each other. That year when they played each other in the playoffs, had there been another quarter, the way that offensive line had worn Alabama's defensive line down, I don't know, man.
Had there been another quarter? Did you say that?
Another quarter.
Yeah, I say that. I know. I did just say that. I know how it sounds. But what I'm saying to you, man, if you look at that game, man, towards the end of the game, man, I believe he scored like 6 times in a row, and they couldn't even pressure this kid towards the end of the game with the offensive line that Jay just talked about. So I mean, to Jay's point, he had a great offensive line and a great offensive team surrounding him as well.
Okay, so did Tua and Murray won that thing. So what's the debate?
Okay, the pick's in, Jay.
Pick is in. Pooh, I'm waiting on that laundry list whenever you got it, sir.
Please,
I'll have it.
Because that sounds like a lot. That sounds like a lot to me.
It's like, yeah. Hey, I'm on the spot right now. I don't have it right now, but I will have it.
Man.
Yeah, whatever.
As Terrence said, the pick is in. The Jacksonville Jaguars, with the 9th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, select Andrew Thomas, offensive tackle from the University of Georgia. Damn good pick. It's a big man who moves well with long arms. He's a dancing bear. I love watching me some Andrew Thomas. He's very few offensive linemen can throw people around, and on the highest level of college football, and he's one of them. Damn good pick, Terrence. All right, next up, we have the Cleveland Browns, represented by Money. Money, you're on the clock. You have 1 minute to get your pick in. While we wait for Money's pick. Pooh, you got that laundry list? No, I'm just kidding. Oh, man. So, Al.
Yes, sir.
You're up next with the Jets. What are the Jets' biggest needs, sir?
Our biggest need is a combination. It's all on the offense in terms of our biggest need. We need a lot, though. But offensive line is playmaking wide receiver is huge as well. A pass rush probably later on in the draft, but it's a big. I'm seeing some names falling my way, names that I'm liking. So I'm just trying to see who Cleveland is picking. Because right now we do have our choices of 2 real good tackles. So I'm feeling real confident right now. Feel real good.
Okay. All right. And the pick has just come in. Speaking of really good tackles, Cleveland Browns, with the 10th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, have selected Mekhi Becton, offensive tackle from Louisville. It's a big man you got there, Money. About 375 pounds of all. Right. A really good pick. He moves like he's a lot smaller.
USDA choice.
Right. But he feels a big need at left tackle for the Browns. So really good pick. All right. As we mentioned, the New York Jets, represented by Al, are now on the clock. Al, you have 1 minute to get your pick in.
What is that drink made out of?
What happened?
What's that drink made out of?
What's that? Salted caramel, Crown Royal, and lemonade.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
Salted caramel, Crown Royal, and lemonade.
Yes,
I
sir.
got some of that in the freezer right now.
It's amazing.
All right. The pick is in. All right. With the 11th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Jedrick Wills, offensive tackle, University of Alabama.
Wow.
With that being said, this is the steal of round one for me. Wills is my number one offensive tackle. And not only did he compete in the best conference in college football, but he dominated. The only question is whether he can slide over and play left tackle. Nick Saban said he can, so I'm going to believe him. Hell of a player, Jedrick Willis. Really good pick, Al.
No doubt.
That kid got an angry streak to him too, man.
Yeah, he does. Like, he slapped people around.
Yeah.
He slapped people in the helmet and sent them flying. I like him. Next up, with the newly located Las Vegas Raiders. That shit still don't sound right.
Nope.
Represented by Regular Scott. All right. And Scott has turned his pick in. With the 12th pick in the first round of the 2020. Right. He threw it.
I can't believe he was still there.
Yeah.
With the 12th pick in the first round, the Las Vegas Raiders select CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver, University of Oklahoma. Damn good pick, Scott. With all the receivers still out there on the board, you had your pick of the litter, and you went with Lamb. Good pick, man. Lamb is, a lot of comparisons to DeAndre Hopkins, and rightfully so. He's not a burner, but he catches everything thrown in his direction, and he's going to be there to fill a huge talent void in that wide receiver room. So, good pick. Next up, represented by Terrence, are the San Francisco 49ers, the Super Bowl runner-up. Terrence, you have a minute to turn that pick in.
I'm about to sabotage these boys.
At least he outright admitted it, right?
Yeah, he did.
He ain't doing no shady stuff like money.
Nah, I'm for self.
My stuff wasn't shady. My stuff wasn't shady, son. Relax. Relax on that. Relax on that.
Terrence, we're going to take Bobby Brown on this pick.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man. Well, the pick is in. I wouldn't say that. I can't say he sabotaged him. Good pick.
I'm doing the right thing.
good man. Good man. With the 13th pick in the first round of the 2020 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Henry Ruggs III, wide receiver from University of Alabama. Damn good pick. Looking for some speed on the outside to complement that power running game. Very good pick. Like it a lot. Next up, we have Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, Rob Gronkowski and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, represented by Al. Al, you have a minute to get your pick in.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Terrence, thanks for doing the right thing. What are your thoughts of going with Lamb to add to that offense in San Fran?
Oh, well, Ruggs, man, like, the reason why I went with that kid is just because they already got Debo, man. They got Debo, man. I think that they just need speed. And I think Emmanuel Sanders had it, but I think getting rid of, him leaving, I think they can easily replace him with this kid. You got Kyle, man. He's like one of the best offensive minds in the league. He's going to use this kid. This kid's going to run free in this offense.
Hey, I do want to say Jedrick Willis, Ruggs the third, and Jerry Jeudy was on the Alabama team, along with Josh Jacobs and Damian Harris.
Mm-hmm.
How many touchdowns did they score against Clemson?
I just wanted to.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to point that out.
I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't say that Alabama had no talent. We didn't say that.
No.
Yeah. But.
Okay.
Oh, Pooh, I knew you was going to because they was bringing first and second round picks off the bench on that team.
Yeah.
Like Alabama was loaded that year.
Yeah,
They couldn't even get playing time for some of these dudes.
right. As with Oklahoma. I mean, I think it's fair to say that they were both loaded.
Yeah, they were both loaded. Bama's just different kind of. That's a different kind of loaded, though. Bama's a different kind of loaded.
I think Bama was more loaded.
I mean,
I think they had more bullets in the gun.
Hey,
Like,
Bama a different kind of loaded. Bama a different kind of loaded.
I think Bama had more bullets in the clip. That's all.
like at certain, like only 11 players can play at once. That's like saying, well, we got, I got 6 Mercedes in my garage. You can only drive one at a time. All right. So, at what point does more loaded? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, at what point does like more loaded matter? When you like obvious, and you're gonna put it that way. Kyler Murray has to equate in that equation, because if you're saying, well, he won the Heisman, they had the Heisman winner as well on that offense.
Yeah, they had him.
But I'm just saying I think Kyler Murray should have won the Heisman over Tua. Now, I
agree with that.
Yeah, like
I disagree with that.
Yeah, that part ain't arguing. I'm just saying.
That's all I'm saying.
That part ain't arguing about. When y'all said that, man, Alabama was loaded and just totally dismissed the fact that Oklahoma was loaded too.
No, his reasoning was that shit. I forgot the reasoning. Go ahead, let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
Well, the pick is in. Oh man, that is great. All right.
I wanted to trade this pick with Al, man. I wanted to switch GMs on you, man. But go ahead, man.
Too late now. You should have did like Al and emailed me.
I should have did it, man. Yeah. I should have did. I really wanted this draft pick though.
Wow. Well, with the 14th pick in the first round of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, represented by Al, select C.J. Henderson, cornerback from University of Florida. Really good pick, Al. With all the offensive linemen off the board, you ain't got nobody to protect Tom. You had to go with
wow, sabotage.
That's a hell of a concept.
Well, they're gonna be calling Jay to play O-line for them with that pick.
Right. Oh man, that's a good pick though. C.J. Henderson's one of the most underrated players in the draft. It's because Okuda's getting all the attention at corner. Henderson's going to be a hell of a player. I like him a lot.
I think he's best available at this point, and with all the offensive linemen that I really, really liked in terms of first round, at this point, I went, best available, and C.J. Henderson's a baller.
Well said.
Wow.
All right. Next up, with the 15th pick, the Denver Broncos and Pooh are on the clock. You have a minute to get your pick in, sir. So money. You first word out of your mouth was sabotage. What do you mean by that? Who else you see out there that's remaining on the board that sticks out to you, sir?
I mean, I thought that Tampa has to go O-line to protect the very, very stationary Tom Brady.
But that leads to a question, because and that's a conundrum that a lot of teams face. You selected offensive linemen just for the sake of selecting offensive linemen, even if it's a bit of a reach, or do you go like Al and just go best player available at that point?
I don't. The guy that's on my board, I don't think he's a reach.
Okay.
But now he's fallen, so I'll save him for one of my next picks.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay.
All right. Well, the pick is in with the 15th pick of the first round of the 2020 NFL Draft. The Denver Broncos select Justin Jefferson, wide receiver from LSU.
Jumped out there.
All right.
Dirty dog.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
This is
I like that.
Yeah, this is where it gets interesting. You started getting around the middle of the first round, and somebody jumps out there with a name you weren't expecting, and like Al said,
a name I was not expecting.
Right. This is when other names start to drop. So
Man, I wish I could push the reset on my Nintendo right now.
Oh wow! And next up, the Atlanta Falcons, represented by Reagan Scott, And that pick is in.
When is it ever gonna be my turn again?
Hey, you spoke out against the commissioner. He done banned you from the draft.
Hey, honestly though, I wouldn't want to pick for the Falcons anyway. So sorry.
Let's see. Scott has made the selection, and with the 16th pick in the first round of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Trayvon Diggs, cornerback, University of Alabama.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Brother of Stephon. Really good pick. And again, we all know Alabama's loaded. And if they got a pick in the first round, they're going to. I
barely had a first round grade on that go.
Yeah, me too.
Barely had a first round rating, but it's all good.
Man. Yeah.
Out there in that water.
Diggs is, he's an athlete. Very sloppy in his technique, especially in press coverage. He a lot of times, gets his feet and his hands don't work together in press. And then he doesn't show the instincts right now in zone coverage. But again, he's a hell of an athlete. And if the top two corners are off the board, again, sometimes you just go with a guy who's a ball of clay and hope you can coach him up and bring the best out of that athleticism. So we won't know for 3 years whether this is a good pick or not. So, next up, the Dallas Cowboys. Represented by Al.
You letting Al pick for the Cowboys too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, he bullied his way into it. The battleground champ.
I ain't picked in 9 picks.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you all this. I was expecting a whole lot of emails when I sent out the. Al was the only one that emailed, and I was like, okay, the man's not afraid to ask for what he wants.
Can I get the Jets is all I ask. For the Cowboys, I got to pick for. And honestly, after you picked some no name for the Falcons, we ran up to the podium with our pick.
No doubt,
we ran to the podium.
Got an embarrassment of riches that they can pick.
Yeah, Al made a paper airplane and threw that shit in my window.
I'm eager to see who we gonna go with.
Well, with that being said, with the 17th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Kayvon Chason, pass rusher from LSU. Damn good pick, Al.
Man, if we end up with him,
I would have went a different way, but
one trick pony, man.
Yeah.
That one trick way.
He
do that one.
We need somebody on the opposite side of DeMarcus. And if we can get him or Ruggs as our pick, I'm gonna be happy as hell. So for him to fall like this, I'm happy with that. I'll take that.
Well, yeah, damn good pick. And right now he is a bit of a one trick pony, but for one, he does do that one trick really well, and he has the tools to add a lot more. And you hope with being a professional and being around NFL coaching all day every day that he'll develop a pass rush repertoire. But at 17th in first round, it's hard to find pass rushers at that point. Man. So good pick.
Add him to Gerald McCoy, Dontarius Poe that we just added through free agency, and our defensive line has improved with this guy.
All right.
And them.
Sabotage Tampa Bay. No, they looking for a pass rusher.
Hey, Pooh, real talk. I thought about it. I was like, they got a pass rusher, don't they? They kept it moving.
Wow.
Keeping it real.
Who Tampa got?
The
Shaq
kid.
Barrett.
They put a tenure on him.
Yeah, they got Shaq Barrett.
They got
Shaq Barrett. Yeah.
All right, and the next pick is in. Let's go to the podium.
What? I ain't my pick yet.
No, it's not.
I told you done, bro. I told you done.
No doubt.
Oh man.
You spectating the rest of this story.
Go ahead.
Y'all wow.
Oh shit. With the 18th pick in the first round of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Josh Jones, offensive tackle, University of Houston.
Wow.
I think I'm putting together a real good draft here right now.
Yeah, Jones is
That's a solid pick.
yeah, it's a good pick.
Solid pick.
One of my favorites in this draft. I think Jones has a bright future ahead of him. He's got to get a bit stronger. Probably add a little more weight, but he's got the feet. He's got long arms. He's just played in didn't play at a high profile school. So, and he's an offensive lineman. So a lot of people don't know about him, but hell of a player. Good pick, Terrence. All right, next up, represented by Al.
Again.
So this is what happened. This is why Al got because I should have adjusted this, but when Al got the Jets, it kind of squeezed him down and put all his picks closer together. So,
is that what happened?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Hey, Money, you ain't picked him 6 picks and Al done picked 4 times.
All right,
I picked the 11th picks.
It's all right, you next, Money. Oh man. And with that, what I probably do? Let me see. Let me look down the board. Al, do you mind if I give Money one of your picks later on in the round?
I mean, if he gonna be begging on the show,
Right.
no,
I don't want to be listening to unsupervised next week talking shit about we ain't giving no picks.
I'm saying, show him some love.
All right, I'll give Money. Money, you have back-to-back picks. I'm gonna give you 25th pick for the Minnesota Vikings, so you'll have Minnesota and Miami back-to-back. All right. So, with are you happy, Gina?
Wait, I'll survive.
All right. Thank you.
Shots fired right there.
Oh man.
I gotta make up for these atrocious picks from my counterparts.
Damn. Well, with the 19th pick in the first round of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Christian Fulton, cornerback, LSU.
Wow.
I mean, if you need a corner, you need a corner. I actually have Fulton rated higher than I do Diggs.
I'm like,
Yeah, me too.
And I mean, people say you shouldn't draft for need. That's bullshit. Everybody drafts for need. So if you look at the Raiders depth chart, they do need a cornerback. And if you think that the pickings are slim at the 19th pick, try waiting a whole nother round and getting one in. So go with the guy you got rated next. So Fulton got a lot of upside. I like Fulton. I think he'll be all right in a couple years.
Do they have a backer? Do they have anybody to tackle anyone?
Why has this kid not been picked up yet?
Right, yeah. I know you're talking about Terrence. Next up, the Jacksonville Jaguars, represented by Money.
Yo, who is this? Jacksonville?
Yeah, it's you.
Yep. Yeah, you up, man. You should be ready. Your pick should be in.
Does money pick?
Oh man, well, with Jacksonville actually releasing Marquise Lee today, and they just out of the blue, they released Marquise Lee, and they still won't trade.
What are they doing?
Right, and they still won't let Ndakwe get his wish and be traded or released. So I don't know what they're doing.
They need to fire their whole front office.
Yeah,
man, what you talking about, man? They about to trade that kid too. They're looking for suitors
for Leonard.
Yeah.
So they about to be a major tank job.
Oh man, tanking for Trevor,
man. Right? And they got Gardner. What y'all talking about? They got Minshew.
Right.
They tanking
The
for Trevor.
stash. We tanking for Trevor, so can't nobody gonna out tank us.
You're right.
I don't know if anybody can out tank anybody or outdo anybody in anything. It's Bill Belichick. That kid gonna get Trevor one way or another.
Wow. Yeah.
So, the pick is in with the 20th pick in the first round, the 2020 NFL Draft. The Jacksonville Jaguars select Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver, University of Alabama.
Ooh, good pick.
Damn good pick. I don't know why.
Can't believe
You're dirty down.
Cannot believe that
So
kid was
close. I was so close.
Oh wow,
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Somebody picked Skip the Malou to play safety and
I thought Judy was drafted. I thought the Raiders drafted.
I was like, I
they
can't
got
they
be
picked
wrong.
Lamb. The bomb.
Oh, you drafted
I'm
Lamb. Okay.
CD Lamb's a baller. I think that's why receiver in the draft.
No, CD Lamb a baller.
Yeah. With Judy at 20, that's highway robbery.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
still.
Wow.
Now I want to trade back, and I can't.
Oh man. Well, Terrence, you representing your beloved Philadelphia Eagles, you have a minute to get your pick in, sir.
Man.
Al, the Eagles, those are your division rivals. I know you're hoping that Terrence selects Wilt Chamberlain, but what do you think the Eagles needs?
Well, when I look at the Eagles, I think their biggest need is that wide receiver. Mm-hmm. So I was sitting here praying that Judy didn't fall to the Eagles. So, at this point, I think they're going to have to go in another direction. So we'll see. We'll see which way they go, because I think wide receiver would fill their biggest need, but the best ones are gone at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a sleeper in there.
All right. 20 seconds, Terrence.
I'm typing as fast as I can.
Oh, okay. You all right.
But there's still, I think they could go linebacker. There's still wide receiver is a deep draft, so it's a deep draft for wide receiver. So you still get a really, really good one if they went here. But I think if I was in another direction.
All right.
I love that kid.
The
I would
pick
have
is
traded back
in.
to get that kid.
All right. With the 21st pick in the first round, the 2020 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Brandon Ayuk, wide receiver, Arizona State. I was when everybody was kind of saying that Judy wouldn't fall, and I love Jerry Jeudy, but that was definitely not the end of the wide receiver crop. Brandon Ayuk is a hell of a player. He's long arms, like ridiculously long arms for somebody who's 6 feet. Dude got like offensive tackle arms. Really explosive, dangerous in the open field.
Kid ain't never lost a foot race, man.
Right.
Never lost a foot race.
Nope. So, really good pick, and I like him in that offense because you can do a lot of things with him.
Still got Deshaun, and we still got Alshon. Just gonna put that out there.
Right.
Fragile and fragile.
Can I get a draft? Can I get a draft board recap?
Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely.
That would have been helpful.
Yes. So we will recap the first round up to this point. Let's see. Cincinnati at 1 took Joe Burrow, quarterback from LSU. Washington at the second pick took Chase Young, edge rusher from Ohio State. Detroit Lions at third took Derek Brown, defensive lineman from.
Wow.
Is that Sabotage University? That's from Auburn.
That was a good pick.
At fourth, the New York Giants selected Isaiah Simmons, linebacker / safety.
Hey, Jay. Yeah. Derek Brown gonna be a top. Brown gonna be a top 8 pick.
No, Derek Brown's
he
player,
is,
man. Yeah.
No, he is.
Yeah.
He is.
He's not gonna breathe. Yeah. No.
We'll see.
That we doubt.
At 5, Miami took Tua Tagovailoa. At 6, the Chargers take Justin Herbert, quarterback from Oregon. At 7, Carolina Panthers select Jeffro Okudah, cornerback from Ohio State. Arizona at number 8 takes Tristan Wirfs, offensive tackle from Iowa. Jacksonville at 9 takes Andrew Thomas, offensive tackle from Georgia. Cleveland at 10 take Mekhi Becton, offensive tackle from Louisville. And to end the run on offensive tackles, the Jets at 11 took Jedrick Wills from Alabama. At 12, the Las Vegas Raiders open up the wide receiver ranks by selecting CeeDee Lamb from Oklahoma. San Francisco at 13 selects Henry Ruggs from Alabama. 14, Tampa Bay selects C.J. Henderson, cornerback from Florida.
Come on, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Come on, man. Show some love, man. I didn't laugh at Brown. I let everybody else laugh at you. I didn't laugh at you.
I guarantee I'm closer to the picks where Brown gonna go than you closer to where CJ Henderson gonna go.
How much was it?
I don't know about that one.
I don't know. Well, it depends on which way you're wrong. Because CJ Henderson could be a top 10 pick and Al could be way off. I mean, I've heard CJ Henderson people saying he can go top 8.
Second, I'm just saying.
All right. So, I mean, they both legit first rounders. So, I've seen crazier shit than both of those picks. Denver at 15. Justin
Man,
Jefferson.
Detroit would have fired your ass.
Damn. On the spot. They got 5 on draft day.
Come on, man.
So I would have just replaced you. I would have just replaced you in Tampa.
That's a shots fired.
Oh man. All right. 16, Atlanta takes Trevon Diggs, cornerback from Alabama. 17, Dallas takes Kayvon Chason, edge from LSU. 18, Miami with Steelers pick select Josh Jones, offensive tackle from Houston. Las Vegas at 19 selects Christian Fulton, cornerback from LSU. 20, the Jacksonville Jaguars take Jerry Jeudy, wideout from Alabama. And 21st pick, the Eagles select Brandon Ayuk, wide receiver from Arizona State. Now with the 22nd pick, that pick is in, represented by Regular Scott. The Minnesota Vikings with the 22nd pick select T. Higgins, wide receiver from Clemson.
That's a good pick.
Okay, that's a good pick. You have redeemed yourself from that Raiders pick.
T. Higgins is another guy who, you know, the latest in a long line of long receivers from Clemson who can go up and get the ball and they score a lot of touchdowns. You know, you look at a guy like Higgins who, if he would have run better at his pro day, probably would have, you know, been in the top 4 receiver category. Mm-hmm. But came out his pro day, ran like a 4.6, and we all know we put too much emphasis on the 40, so his stock has kind of dropped lately. But I'm hoping that everybody keeps passing on T. Higgins, and he falls onto the second round, and we can get him.
Oh, that's right.
And as the head, I just wanted to say a special message to the other Diggs in the NFL. You're a Trump supporter.
Little hate.
Oh, all right. Next up, the New England Patriots are with the 23rd pick, represented by Pooh. You have a minute to get your pick in, sir. Oh man, so it's been a minute since we had a one-on-one with anybody. So Al, I want you to defend that pick with CJ Henderson going to Tampa. And why you didn't go offensive lineman, and you said you went best player available. What was your thought process?
Well, I mean, good. my thought was at the end of the day, when you're drafting, you, especially at this spot, 14, you don't want to reach just because you need something. And while we got Brady, you know, we need offensive line help without a doubt. As far as I was concerned, the top value linemen were gone. A lot of respect for Jones. He's a baller, but I wouldn't have picked him that early. So unless I could trade that, I'm not picking him at 14. Where could we use some real good talent? And to me, C.J. Henderson is the second best secondary cornerback in the draft. I like Okudah, but I think C.J. Henderson is right there. I like his speed, and in this division, where you're talking about, you got to go up against Julio Jones, you got to go up against Drew Brees, and Carolina. They ain't got no real dominant wide receivers, but they good, they quick, and I think he's going to add to that. I think the Panthers are going to be better offensively this year, so I think that's going to help Brady. So that was my thought process: bringing a real good player, getting good value at 14.
All right. Cool. Well, the Patriots pick is in, represented by Pooh, with the 23rd pick in the first round of the 2020 NFL Draft. The New England Patriots select Jordan Love, quarterback, Utah State.
Good pick.
Very good pick. Yeah. Next up, we have the New Orleans Saints, represented by Terrence. So you have a minute to get your pick in. Pooh, what are your thoughts on Jordan Love becoming a Patriot?
Man, we're ecstatic to have him. Accurate guy, strong arm, extremely mobile. He just seems to be a winner. Good character guy, and we see the way the NFL is moving. And we can get an accurate guy with very good legs, shifty, extend plays, and can get out of the pocket. We think the sky's the limit for him.
Good. Yeah, very good pick. Intriguing athlete there. All right, Terrence, you have 15 seconds, sir.
This kid got a long name, man.
You still got 15 seconds.
I think I spelled it wrong. But I think you know who it is.
All right.
So what happens if he runs out of time? Do you auto draft the next best player on the board?
He loses pick.
That's normally how it works.
If you run out of time, you forfeit your pick. The next person gets the pick. But Terrence does have his pick in. You're right. This is a funny last name, a funny name. But with the 24th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Laviska Shenault, wide receiver, University of Colorado. Very good pick.
Wow.
Wide receivers is dominating the first round.
Right. Next up, the Minnesota Vikings. The Saints.
That's for the Saints.
Oh, so it's on me.
Yes. Money, you have a minute to get your pick in for Minnesota, and then another minute for Miami. If you want to use 2 minutes and just turn them both in at that point, you can do that if you want.
No doubt. That's what I'm doing.
Terrence, what are your thoughts on Laviska Shenault and what he can bring to the New Orleans offense?
Playmaking, man. I mean, you talk about Thomas catch everything, right? Now you can kind of get rid of he's like the new Ted Ginn for this team. You know what I'm saying? He just take the top off, be able to pretty much free up everybody else. That offense will be wide open, man, with Drew for another year.
Yeah. And they just added Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah, honestly, man, I would have picked Love. I would have picked Love, but Pooh picked him.
Okay. All right. So Pooh.
How's this kid still here?
I like Love for New Orleans too, but I really, really wanted Love for Tampa Bay. I really wanted Love for Tampa Bay.
All right.
They're not going to miss that pick on that kid.
The Minnesota pick is in.
Okay.
With the 25th pick of the first round of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Javon Kinlaw, defensive lineman, University of South Carolina. There you go. I was wondering.
Hey, look here, man. I think that kid is just almost as good as Brown, man.
I
think that kid is. Yeah, that's raw talent, man. I think that kid's a beast.
Yep.
Yeah. Another steal late in the first round. And,
Steal.
Right,
yeah, he's a steal.
The funny thing is, this kind of stuff actually happens on draft day. Like, somebody will fall, and we're like, whoa, I forgot he was even there. So, especially since, again, the whole league will be playing Madden this year and drafting virtually. It's going to be fun.
Right.
No doubt.
All right. Let's see. Money. Your second pick. Unless he's somebody I don't know. Yeah, he's already off the board.
You sure?
Absolutely.
He said, yeah, man.
Well, who took him?
Tick, top, tick, top.
He went number 9 to Jacksonville.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my bad.
Yeah.
Tick,
10,
top,
Stand by.
top.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Yeah, you got
Two.
the countdown.
1.
I'm sending them now. Hold on.
Wow.
All right. We see somebody on their way to the podium.
Oh,
Yeah.
let me get my pick in.
All right. With the 26th pick in the first round of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Xavier McKinney, safety from Alabama. Good pick. Yeah. McKinney's a guy who came into the year, as a possible top 10 pick at that kind of safety, but started off a little slow this year, picked it up at the end of the season, and kind of showed why he was so highly regarded. Really, really, really like that pick.
Appreciate it. On a 10 seconds too.
Right. Yeah.
That's a lot to type in 10 seconds.
For real. The 27th pick is in. Regularly, Scott be running his picks up here. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, look, I'm ready to go. There's no time to be BSing. I have my mind made up.
Oh.
There's no, we make our decisions. We stick to them, and we're solid with it.
Right.
Hey, Jay, I don't know why I did that, Jay. I'm so ready.
I know. I was like, yeah. I was like, it messed me up. I was like, Terrence real ready. But hold on to your pick, Terrence. We're going to get to you. With the 27th pick in the first round of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Zach Bond, linebacker, University of Wisconsin.
Wow.
Zach Bond. I like Zach Bond. Guy who a lot of people haven't heard of. The latest in a quiet long line of Wisconsin linebackers who've made some impact in the NFL lately. So Bond's a guy who kind of reminds me of Kyle Van Noy. You can line him up at inside, outside, rush the passer. In the right system, he can be highly effective. In the same way Kyle Van Noy became more effective when he left Detroit and went to New England. They used him correctly. The same way I like Zach Bond. Very good pick.
That was my third one.
Hey, look, don't be trying to knock my man. Ain't nobody got no time for you to be trying to carry my
Crazy shade.
All right.
I ain't even think y'all can hear me.
Right. Now, with that being
Yeah, you
said,
did.
and for my taste, for the players who were remaining on the board, I would have. There are other names even at linebacker. I would have gone with above Bond.
I don't know. I don't know what you're doing, man. I don't know what you're doing, Jay. Come on, man.
No.
People gotta watch their board, Jay. I agree with him.
With the Baltimore Ravens next up at 28. Pooh, you got a minute to get your pick in. Oh man. So Scott, what are your thoughts on Zach Bond? Yeah, Scott, what are you thinking with Zach Bond in Seattle? What does he bring?
Well, senior, so he's got the experience. He's a 4-year guy. He's older. He should be ready to come in and push right off the bat. Like you said, we can move him around. We need a little bit more versatility on defense anyway to kind of move guys around. And if anything, this will give us more depth. That we can move guys out, keep guys fresh. He's going to be a solid piece for us. We're not going to rely on him to get us 120 tackles, but if he can get us a solid 80 to 100 tackles, that's all we need out of him. So he's going to fit what our system needs, and he's going to give us that versatility that we kind of lack. And he's an older young player, and I think that'll help him deliver right away.
And he's a team, so way to defend your pick.
He's a linebacker from Wisconsin, so I'm not buying that.
You know who else was a linebacker from Wisconsin?
Who?
T.J. Watt.
This is correct.
Mm-hmm.
But,
so
but
he
ain't TJ. He ain't TJ Watt though.
He is not TJ Watt. So yeah, I grant you that.
He ain't nowhere near TJ Watt.
I grant you that.
I just added me a dog in the middle, man.
So the pick is in for Baltimore.
Oh man,
The linebacker that those guys should have just took.
With the 28th pick in the first round of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Patrick Queen, linebacker, LSU.
That's right. That's what Seattle should have took.
Just added me a dog in the middle, man.
Dog in the middle.
Never mind that pick now, Jay.
Yeah. Really good pick.
I said that pick.
I don't know what regular was thinking about.
Next up, the Tennessee Titans.
System guy.
Al, you have a minute to get your pick in. Tell us about Patrick Queen, Pooh. Why are you so excited about Patrick Queen in Baltimore?
Just extremely hard worker. He gets it. He has the it factor. Sideline to sideline, relentless. He sees the ball, gets the ball. Diagnose the play. He can get out. He can cover. He's a tremendous athlete. I love him.
Love him.
Right.
I love leadership.
I'm sorry.
Dog.
We love him.
Yeah,
we love him.
dog.
Yeah, really high on Patrick Queen. Good pick.
He was my highest rated linebacker on the board. So for him to still be here at 30 was amazing.
Yeah. I thought I was going to get him. The second time Pooh done did me in like that.
Terrence said that pick in 3 picks ago. I was like, I'm so confused. Why is
I was ready, man. I said that kid's still on the board. Let me take him. But yeah, he got me.
Oh man. Well, the Tennessee pick is in. And Al has elected for the Tennessee Titans with the 29th pick in the first round of the 2020 NFL Draft. The Tennessee Titans select Yatur Gross-Matos, edge rusher from Penn State.
Nice.
Yeah, they're kind of building a young pass rush squad out there in Tennessee with Harold. What's his name? I forgot his last name. Is it Harold Dixon? Harold Landry at outside linebacker. They're also active in free agency. But yeah, Gross-Matos is a guy who, probably gonna have to get a little stronger.
That's a steal for the spot.
That's a possible steal, absolutely. And he's a guy you just want to root for, man. He lost his dad when he was 5 years old during a boating accident. His dad was trying to save him, and he lost his dad. And then at the age of, I think at the age of 10, he lost his older brother. Got struck by lightning right in front of him. So just a guy you want to root for. So good pick, Al. Guy has a lot of upside. So good pick for Tennessee. Next up, the Green Bay Packers, represented by Terrence. You have a minute to get that pick in. One of my favorites. The pick is in. With the 30th pick in the first round of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Denzel Mims, wide receiver. Yeah. From Baylor.
Terrence, did you just study up on auto wide receiver? You haven't picked anything but a receiver yet.
That is incorrect.
Oh man.
Well, maybe one of your picks wasn't a receiver. Every one except one of your picks was a receiver.
Look, man, I'm an Eagles fan. That's what we need. So don't judge me. Don't gotta do what we gotta do.
Everyone needs a receiver. That's what Terrence said.
Hey, the teams I picked needed them, man. What? Hey, man.
Yeah.
Stay in your GM office and let me worry about mine.
Oh man. Well, Terrence, what are your thoughts on the latest receiver you picked, Denzel Mims?
Hey, you can't teach explosiveness. You can't teach that. That kid has it. Plus, you pair that kid. Wow, on the other side of the field. Mm-hmm. Wow, you can't. Rodgers can make no more excuses for not having talent.
All right. That is the truth. Denzel Mims, one of my favorites, man. He wins jump balls. He's long, smooth. You ain't. Of course, those top 3-4 names get all the pub, but Mims might be the best receiver in this class in 5 years.
Yeah. The way what's so crazy about it, man? He's so smooth that you don't think he's running fast.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I like him.
All right. Well, the pick is in for 31. The San Francisco 49ers, with the 31st pick in the NFL draft, select Austin Jackson, offensive tackle, University of Southern California. All right. Not a bad pick.
Not a bad pick.
Yeah, 31 in the first round. You get a replacement for Joe Staley.
It's not a bad pick at all.
Really good pick. All right. And the final pick is up next. Kansas City Chiefs. Pooh. You got a minute to get your pick in. So y'all just spitball some names what do y'all think are the biggest needs for the Chiefs, the Super Bowl champions here?
Kansas City.
I ain't gonna say give Pooh no names.
Cornerback, linebacker, edge.
Is that kid gone, Jay?
No, he's not.
Has this kid been drafted?
Nope. Okay. And surprisingly so.
That brute? Ew, man.
Pick his in.
But I guess y'all would have thought I would have picked the receiver, so maybe, you don't want my insight.
Let me
I think they can go running back. I think they can go offensive line.
For them to say that this running back class was supposed to be so good, maybe they got outshined by the receivers and O tackles, but I don't really suspect any running backs to go in the first round.
They could go. They could go D tackle. The Chiefs could do whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the only missing piece they really are missing, is like a solid they have a running back, but young talent wise, maybe.
Yeah. I would build the offensive line if I was here. That's where I would go.
Yeah. Well, the pick is in with the final pick in the first round of the 2020 NFL Draft. At 32, Kansas City Chiefs select Kenneth Murray, linebacker from Oklahoma.
Yeah, he better have one. He better have one.
Yeah.
Damn good pick.
He definitely will.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like Murray.
I'm surprised AJ's up there.
Murray's, he's kind of reminds me of Devin White from last year. His instincts are a little to be, leave a little to be desired, but he sees the ball, gets the ball, and he usually arrives with bad intentions. So I like the physicality and the athleticism he's going to bring, and only experience and repetitions are going to help his instinct. So I like that pick. And again, like Kansas City. Well, like we said, Kansas City can go in so many different directions and get help from about anywhere. So I love that pick. Yeah. All right. So just to recap our round of our live mock draft, and after we recap the picks, I'll give you some notable names who were left out of the first round. All right. Again, starting with Cincinnati at 1, got Joe Burrow. Washington at 2, Chase Young. Detroit at 3, Derek Brown. Giants at 4, Isaiah Simmons. Miami at 5, Tua Tagovailoa. 6, the Chargers, Justin Herbert. 7, Carolina, Jeff Okudah. Arizona at 8, Tristan Wirfs. Jacksonville at 9, Andrew Thomas. Cleveland at 10, Mekhi Becton. New York Jets at 11, Jedrick Wills. Vegas at 12, CeeDee Lamb. 13, San Francisco, Henry Ruggs. 14, Tampa Bay, C.J. Henderson. 15, Denver, Justin Jefferson. Atlanta at 16, Trayvon Diggs. Dallas at 17, Kayvon Chason. Miami at 18, Josh Jones. Vegas at 19, Christian Fulton. 20 at Jacksonville, Jerry Jeudy. 21, Philadelphia, Brandon Ayuk. 22, Minnesota, T. Higgins. New England at 23, Jordan Love. 24, New Orleans, Laviska Shenault Jr. 25, Minnesota, Javon Kinlaw. 26, Miami, Xavier McKinney. Seattle at 27, Zach Bond. 28, Baltimore, Patrick Queen. 29, Tennessee, Yatur Gross Matos. 30, Green Bay, Denzel Mims. 31, San Francisco, Austin Jackson. And to round out the round, Kansas City at 32, Kenneth Murray. Damn good job, guys. Some notables who were not selected in our first round here. We have Grant Delpit, safety from LSU.
That's going to be a steal in a second.
All right. DeAndre Swift, running back from Georgia. J.K. Dobbins, running back from Ohio State. Jonathan Taylor, running back from Wisconsin. Cesar Ruiz, interior offensive lineman from Michigan. So you have Antoine Winfield Jr. from safety from Minnesota. Let's see. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, running back from LSU. Jalen Rager, wide receiver, TCU. Another one of my favorites. Cam Akers, running back, Florida State. Let's see. Cole Kmet, tight end from Notre Dame. A.J. Epinesa, edge rusher from Iowa. What else is missing?
I actually had a mid-first round grade on him.
Yeah, that kid. I thought that kid was going to go early.
Yeah. So yeah, just some notables. Who wouldn't have shocked me if they gone in the first round. So, I don't know. Y'all did a damn good job. Pooh. Best pick, worst pick from this draft. Who you got?
Ooh. Oh, here we go.
Best pick, worst pick.
The worst pick.
Man. Hey, you know you're my boy, man. I love you, man. It ain't really the worst pick, but just kind of. I gotta go with money, man. Money with Detroit. Money with Detroit at 3.
No doubt.
You know what feelings though, man. Brown's an animal, man, but they practically lost every last secondary, member from last year. Like they had to go secondary. And you went D tackle.
I needed the D tackle.
Okay. All right. Best at probably the best value was and I'm really I know everyone's saying this kid the best receiver. I don't think he's the best receiver in the draft, but Jerry Jeudy at 20. I think that's the best bang for the buck at 20. That was awesome.
All right, Al, best pick, worst pick.
I did that too.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Al, who's your best pick, worst pick, sir?
I think the best pick, worst pick. So I think the worst. I'm going with Diggs with the Falcons actually as the worst. I think that was kind of early, but I'm not even. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I thought that was real early for Diggs.
Okay.
The best pick though, I like Javon Kinlaw.
Yeah, damn good pick.
I think
I did that too.
I think he's one of the best players in the draft, and for him to fall that low, it happens. But I really like Kinlaw.
Right. All right. Scott, best pick, worst pick.
Hey, best pick got to be Cincinnati Bengals, right?
Okay.
Joe Burrow. It's got to be the best pick, right?
It better be for their sake.
For their sake, yeah.
It better be. But the best pick. This is me admitting fault, pretty much. was Patrick Queen.
Yeah. All right.
That was the
I don't think anybody disagrees with you, sir.
Yeah.
Nope.
So that was, hey, look, I'm man enough to admit my faults. Man enough to admit my faults. Okay. But I'm daggone sure not gonna give myself the worst pick. So I'm certainly not gonna do that. So I'm gonna just hop on the money bandwagon, just because it's already a seat there. So I'll just hop on that one.
No doubt.
All right. Money. It's on you. Best pick, worst pick.
Be honest with yourself.
I'm gonna definitely say the best pick was the Patrick Queen pick, man. I thought, and a close kind of tie in there with that Jerry Jeudy, Javon Kinlaw. But I'm gonna say the worst pick had to be when regular pick. Oh God, who we picked with that Raiders pick?
Hey, peep this though. My pick, I would have got chewed out. Your pick, you'd have got fired. That's the difference between our two picks.
I don't think I would have got fired.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go. I can't remember what pick it was.
With Scott, for the Scott's picks.
It wasn't even the Braun pick.
It wasn't the Vegas pick. You got CeeDee Lamb on Vegas.
Was it the Diggs? Was it Trayvon Diggs?
Trayvon Diggs. You got that for Atlanta.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. I thought that was like horrible when all these other guys were still on the board at that pick.
That was horrible though. That pick was horrible.
Hey, what the hell going on? Wait a minute.
They piling on.
Whoa. Hey, all right, I got it.
It wasn't even the Braun pick that did it for me. It was the I was like, who? Like right here? I was like, through that.
Right.
Hey. But look, when it happens, I don't want to hear nothing. I want an apology.
All right.
Wow.
When he get drafted, what was that? 16? When he get
like
drafted in the
top,
16, Atlanta, 16. When he get drafted in the top 16, I better get a text, a phone call, a Cambio, a TikTok.
Man, I will get in my car and drive to Richmond, bro.
Cowboys pick right after you, so
I'm gonna text you. Yeah, I'm gonna text you.
I'm gonna say thank you. That means some good player slid to us.
Hey, I'm gonna text you and say, yo, that kid about to get fired.
Go ahead. Who's your best pick, worst pick?
Here's the deal, man. I ain't trying to be the dead horse on this this worst pick, but it's just the pure like getting overness that this kid did.
You know it's bad when somebody make up words on you, man.
Yeah, this kid had a plan from jump to sabotage them to increase his chances as a Panther. I'm just putting it out.
Okay, Jay. So, I won't even say Jay. Who I've been screaming for months that the Panthers was going to draft.
You've been talking about that corner, ain't it?
Hell no, man. You know I ain't been talking about
that. Hey, you were just talking about that kid 2 days ago. You talked about that corner from Ohio State, and I was like, yo, that kid not going to be there.
Isaiah Simmons, man. I don't give a damn about...
Nah. You said Simmons, man. Simmons.
Yeah, I think we draft Simmons. I don't think the Giants are going to draft him, so it had nothing to do with that pick at all.
Man,
I just think the Giants... I think the Lions have two positions of need, and I just picked the one that I thought they might go with.
Look, man, they got Simmons going to Detroit too. Like if you look at multiple drafts, it's either cornerback or that kid. But anyway, it is what it is. It's my choice. So that's what I picked. Right?
No doubt.
But as far as top choices, any receiver that I picked.
Not bad. And just out of sheer fairness, again, Pooh and Scott didn't have first round picks for their favorite teams, so I just want to give you an opportunity. Pooh, your Bears pick Your first pick is 50th overall for Chicago. Give me a name that was not picked in this first round that you would hope will fall to that 50th pick.
I would love Delpit. I don't think he's gonna get to us, so I'm gonna say AJ Terrell might get to us, man.
Okay, good one.
Yeah.
All right, Scott, your Buffalo Bills pick 54th for your first pick this year. Give me a name that wasn't selected tonight that you hope falls to that pick.
I'm really hoping Zach Bond. He's somebody I think could fill a lot of needs for the Bills.
Well, somebody who wasn't selected. You selected.
You said Zach Bond.
I know. I'm thinking probably like AJ Terrell was actually somebody I was going to say, but just to be somebody different, I'll say Jalen Johnson.
Jalen Johnson. Very good. Ironically, I have Jalen Johnson going to you guys in my mock draft. So good pick.
Oh man, that's good stuff.
Cool. Oh man, that's hilarious.
Hey, question, Jay Pool Money. Y'all remember when we used to play the NCAA football recruiting? This is what this remind me of, man.
Right. Except he's out here cussing folks out.
Right.
Yeah.
Now he just calls you a Trump supporter.
I just calls you a Trump. Oh man. Well, guys, damn good job. Thank y'all, and this is always fun for me. And I hope y'all enjoy the post production with all the classic NFL films music in the background. So enjoy it. But yeah, so we got a listener question, and then we're gonna get to some trivia. All right. So listener question for the day. It's from Michael from Lincoln, Nebraska. Oh, damn. Speaking of best of, worst of, Michael wants to know, tell me about the best day of your life and the worst day of your life. Michael, you getting too damn close, man. You getting too damn deep with this shit. I don't know if... Well, I'm the host. I ain't got to answer questions. But anyway...
I thought we were supposed to be drafting people, man. We talking about drafting people.
I mean... Yes. I mean, Scott just selected Zach Bond in the first round. We know your worst day of your life. Oh man, let me throw a dart up against the board, see who gets to be my guinea pig here. Money. Tell Michael about the best day of your life and the worst day of your life.
Sheesh, man.
Right.
That's heavy.
Well, this is why we do this. Yeah.
The best day of my life. Man, I've had a lot of great days, man. I can't. It's just, I mean, that's tough. I'm not married. I can't say that. I don't have any kids, so I can't say that, my son was born or anything like that. The day I lost my virginity.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
All right.
What the fuck?
Don't take much, does it, huh?
Shazam.
No. Okay. In all seriousness, probably the best day of my life was the day that I was promoted to associate director of client services at my current job. It's a junior executive position, and I was 33 years old when this happened, and I was actually the youngest black junior executive in the software space in the country. And so I would have to say, and I remember just like reading the offer letter and just like sitting in my car like crying, like, because I was like, wow, like that's crazy, that's me. Nice. And that's probably the best day of my life. The worst day of my life, man, is probably the day my grandma died. My mother's mother. I don't have any grandparents left, but that was, my other three grandparents kind of lived long, healthy lives, and we were still in college when my grandma died. She was like 66,
Wow.
And I think it really shocked me, my family. I know that was my baby girl.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it fucked me up. Like, it actually fucked me up. So, that's probably the worst day of my life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pooh, what about you, man? Best day, worst day? Pooh.
Yeah,
Ain't no shy on us. Yeah, we hear you.
Nah, all right. Press mute. Best day, man, probably, man, I mean, running a close right neck and neck together. Probably, the day I, got married and my kids.
Mm-hmm.
I can't dare, pick one over the other, but so those got to be the, some of the happiest days of my life.
Okay.
Right there.
All right.
Worst day of my life. Think about it a lot. Kind of hard for me to get over, but it's probably when my pops shot himself in front of me.
Mm. Yeah.
So that's probably the worst day of my life.
It's tough, man. All right. Al, what say you, man? It's your best day of your life, worst day of your life?
I would say, like Pooh, it's kind of hard to separate in terms of my best days. The birth of my children and my wedding. All three were definitely, just in terms of greatness, best days, like just in terms of they are all just the ingredients, or they make up like that my happiness from then to now. Some, they're all included. So pretty much I built my life around being a family dude. So that would be best days. Worst days, I've lost both of my parents like 20 years apart. So the first one was kind of my introduction to what sucks about life. And then the second one was a reminder about what sucks about life. So, yeah, those are my two worst days. My mother and father dying.
Yeah, pretty bad. Shit. Who asked this question again? Fucking Michael.
Yo, I was in a great mood, yo.
Right.
Yeah. That can do a wet blanket on this, man.
Man. Go ahead, Terrence. What's your best day, worst day?
I think I'm pretty close to like Al and Pooh with like your wedding and your kids. I think I'm not saying I love one kid more than the other, but I actually delivered Brooklyn, my daughter. Right. So that was like one of the most life-changing experiences and the most uncomfortable experience as well, because you cannot see what you see.
Man, tell me about it.
I suggest anyone having a baby that's a man, you stay at the shoulders. You ain't got to go down there. You're not missing nothing. And the worst, I would say the worst would be my pops. I just saw him, and I had told him, I was like, "Hey, I gotta go back to Wilmington," because I was working in Charleston doing a training for a tech support group. I was like, "I'll be back. I just got to get this rental car back," and before I can get back, he passed away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I would say that's like my worst.
Yeah, it's tough. All right. Regular, what's your best day, worst day, man?
As a father, it's hard not to pick the birth of your child as one of the best days ever. It's just to be different though, just because that's any father's probably gonna say that. I'll say the day I found out I was having the baby, having my son. Right. That day was really like, it was just a rush of emotions kind of hit me all at once. But the last emotion that hit, and the one that kind of overwhelmed me, was this like strong happiness. Like, you know, I'm about to really be a father. And, you know, as somebody whose biological father wasn't around, this is a priority to me. So everybody's got a story. So for me, it hit differently. So that day to me actually is probably on par with the birth as well, just because that's just news, especially your first, that you're just, I don't know. There's something about it. It was just a very special day. As far as my worst day, I've been very, very blessed and fortunate as far as I haven't had a lot of loss in my family yet in that regard. So I don't have anything quite as deep or as meaningful as a lot of what you all have said. My worst day so far has really been the day after losing the national championship game with my coaching my JV homeschool team at the homeschool national tournament at Liberty. Not after, because you gotta be strong for the team, and you got to make sure they're okay. Because this is about them first. But the day after, that's when it kind of hit me like, I could have made this substitution, or, maybe I should have ran this set. I ran this set too long. I shouldn't have pressed here. Maybe I should have pressed it. All types of stuff like that. And it's just, I feel like most of all, I let all the kids down, and that's, again, like, that's a priority, to make sure that they have the best, all the tools possible to succeed. And that day I felt like I really dropped the ball, and that it was on me. So that's probably the worst day. I know it's not quite as heavy as what's been going around here lately, but that day really sticks out to me.
Yeah. And nothing like a big loss as a coach that you question yourself.
That was a tough one.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to stay away from birth and death. Because, like you said, Scott, everybody said that, the birth of your kid is kind of a given. And then somebody close to you, you lose them. That's definitely tough. So I'm going to go with my best day being my wedding day. And just like, it was almost my worst day because my wife was late to my wedding. But it's only fitting because, as Al knows, my wife is late everywhere we damn go. So that was kind of fitting. But it ended up being a beautiful day. And at that point, we didn't have a lot, so we couldn't have this huge wedding. So it was just really our immediate families. But, it was great to, a lot of course, wedding times, families are, you got a lot of people first time meeting each other and all that stuff going on. So really great day. Worst day, again, if I'm staying away from death and losses, it would definitely be when we lost everything in Georgia. We were living in Georgia, and my last media company I was working with my partner, we had an investor who was wanted to invest in our company, and turns out that he was a fraud, and we ended up losing everything. I left my job. He'd already sent the money over. The money cleared, and before the money cleared, he got wrapped up in a fraud case. And so we'd already, by the time we were able to, we weren't able to recover before we lost everything. And now he's in federal prison. I have to tell y'all that story another day. Kind of crazy story. But yeah, so that will be probably my worst day when we found out that we had to pack up and restart over. So yeah. Hey, fuck you, Michael. So yeah. All right. Y'all ready for some Trump?
I might get the Rona.
I think Michael's a Trump supporter.
Damn sure
He
is.
definitely, at the very minimum. Bastard. But anyway, thank you, Michael, for your question.
I don't like Michael.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a great question. That's a mood changer.
Like, that question should have been on another show, Jay.
Well, that's the only one we got.
Should have been at the beginning of the show.
That's the only one we had. But I guess it's on. I guess it's on us that he did ask good and bad. So I guess it's on us that we are letting that outweigh the good.
True that.
So it ain't Michael's fault. So I apologize to you, Michael. Please send me more
Bullshit.
questions.
Yeah, it is his fault.
He gotta say no.
Shout out to you, Michael.
I gotta
Keep
take
him
Zach
coming,
on.
Michael.
He
Keep him
gotta
coming.
take this
Man.
question. Okay, I gotta take Zach. He gotta take this question.
Wow.
Oh man, well we appreciate the question, Michael. Mood changer or not, we have fun with these questions. Usually we have fun with them, but it's a good question nonetheless. Just took us a place you weren't expecting. But if y'all got anything you disagree with, you want to know from us, or if you just want to get some shit off your chest, email us at info@godefylife.com, or you can find us on our social media platforms at godefylife. So salute to everybody. Salute to you this week, Michael. Please come back and ask another question. And this time make it festive, man. But we are in the mood, get back in the mood of being draft week. I have a list in front of me. Just a list of NFL draft busts and NFL draft steals.
Oh, bust. You said bust. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So there will be no points on the board. We will go in rotation.
No.
All right. I will give you a clue. You give me a name. If you get it wrong, if the person after you answers your question correctly, you are out. If they miss it, you stay in the game.
Okay.
Okay. All right. We are going. Al, you first. We'll go in order of seniority. Al, you first. I'm sorry, Pooh. I think Pooh had to leave. Pooh, you still there? I didn't think so. Yeah, Pooh just texted me. He had to call his mom. He thinks something's going on. So let's pray for Pooh. Okay. But Al, you first. You want to go steals or busts?
Bust.
Bust. All right. And the questions will get gradually harder as we go. So I'll let you know. All right. First NFL bust. Drafted first overall in 2007, he was said to possess a rare combination of arm strength and size. Boy, were they on to something when they said size.
DeMarcus Russell.
Jamarcus Russell is correct. All right. Money. You want to go steals or you want to go bust?
Let's go bust, brother.
All right. Known widely as the worst draft bust ever, next to the creation of the XFL. He was selected second overall after the Colts took Peyton Manning first.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my main man. Ryan, my man, Leaf.
Ryan Leaf is correct. All right. Regular Scott, you want to go draft busts? You want to go draft steals?
Let's go steals.
All right. All right. Drafted 199th overall in the 6th round. Some consider him the GOAT.
Oh, that's my man Tom Brady.
Tom Brady
The
is
GOAT.
correct. The GOAT. Yes. All right. Terrence, you want to go steals or you want to go bust?
Let's go steals.
Steals. All right. Drafted in the 6th round. This wide receiver. I'm sorry. Let me reread the question. Drafted in the 6th round, this wide receiver is now considered the best of his generation. Who is this former NFL player?
Jerry Rice.
That is incorrect.
Best of his generation.
Mm-hmm.
Is it on me? Or who goes? Who's after him?
It's on you, Al. Yeah.
Oh.
Same question.
The best of his generation, 6th round. I don't remember. T.O.?
Oh, T.O.'s incorrect. All right. Terrence, you remain in the game. Al got it wrong as well. Correct answer is Antonio Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Okay.
All right.
Hey, thanks, Al.
I got you.
Al, it moves on to you. You want to go bust or you want to go steals?
Let's go. Let me try steals.
All right. Drafted in the 5th round, 154th overall in the 1996 draft, this undersized, slow, white middle linebacker became a legend for this South Florida franchise. Who is he?
Wow. Getting all the easy ones, man.
What is his name?
5.
Get out of here.
4.
Where that timer at?
3.
Get out of here.
2. 1.
Get out of here.
Thomas?
Oh, I
need a first and last name.
Zach Thomas.
Oh, Zach Thomas is correct. Okay. Pull it out at the buzzer.
The timer went off. Wheel time was up, brother.
I said Thomas.
He got Thomas.
Y'all
as
couldn't
the
hear me
buzzer was
over
going.
y'all chat.
Right.
Was.
But he said it like 3 times. He did catch it at the buzzer. Good guess, Al. A way to pull it out your ass. I like that one.
I pulled it out my ass.
Money. It's on you. You going bust? You going steal?
All that. Let's go steals. I like steals. Let's see what we can do with steals.
All right. Drafted in the 6th round, 173rd overall in the 1998 NFL draft, this center from Harvard went on to make 6 Pro Bowls.
Ooh.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Jeff Saturday?
Incorrect. All right. Scott, for the chance to steal and put money out of his misery.
Zach Bond.
Close, but no. That would be
Burke.
Matt Burke. Exactly.
Oh, yeah. I knew I was good.
Yeah.
You ain't know nothing. Why are you trying to come at me?
I knew I was good. Hey, Jay, I knew I was good.
Wow. All right, Scott, we going bust or we going steals?
How many questions are we in steals at this point? Because you said they get harder each question.
Hey, man, don't be intimidated. Just go.
They do. I've got about 30 steals in front of me.
Damn it.
How many busts you got?
Bust, I got about 25.
Man,
I would go with steals if I were you.
What man, let's go.
Let's stick with steals.
All right.
You sound all confident.
You're right. Oh man. All right. This Hall of Fame pass rusher, drafted in the 8th round, 203rd overall in the 1983 draft,
Shit.
is a famed member of the greatest defenses. It's one of the greatest one-year defense in history. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, Terrence.
Too Tall Jones?
Oh, Too Tall Jones is incorrect. Scott stays in the game.
Can I give a shot at it? Can I?
Yeah.
Richard Dent.
Richard Dent is correct.
Oh, the Bears. Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
I knew that. I knew that was.
Hey, can we change the rotation? Like, who go after me? Like, can I get regular? Can I get regular to go after me?
Nah. I like having you after me.
Oh, shit.
Shot fired right back at you.
Oh shit.
No doubt.
Oh man. All right, Al, where we going? Bust or still?
Al, where we going?
It's on me.
Come around that corner.
Oh, it's on Terrence.
It's
on Terrence. Yeah, it's on
right.
Terrence. Yeah.
Let's go with Bus.
Oh, Bus. All right.
Actually, you know what? No.
You
Let's
want
go with
Steels?
Steels.
All right.
I'm saying space hit boy. You can pull up like that.
Yeah. You next question yet?
Okay. All right.
Oh man. All right. Let's see. This Hall of Fame quarterback, nicknamed Captain America, was selected in the 10th round, 129th overall in the 1964 draft.
He plays for Dallas. Richard Starbucks. I can't say his name right.
You got to give me one first name. First or last name. One of them right.
What that time is?
5, 4, 3,
Starbuck.
2,
I don't know.
1.
I know his name.
What's his first name?
Don't seem like it.
Richard.
That is it. Richard Starbird is incorrect.
I know who he is. I know who he is. I hate Dallas.
Al for the chance to put Terrence out of the game. What is the correct answer?
Oh man, I'm gonna enjoy putting this eagle to bed. Roger Staubach with me.
I thought it was on me. My bad. I was ready to get Al out of here.
Don't worry about it. I had that one in the chamber.
He gave the answer, man.
Oh man.
I had that one in the chamber.
Nah, Al knew that. He a Dallas fan.
Yo, I gave you his nickname and everything. I was like, Terrence got it.
I know who he is, man.
Oh.
I
was like, at least give me the first name. The kid said Richard. I was like, oh, come on.
I couldn't remember.
The kid said Rockman. Asim Rockman. Oh man. All right. Al, it's on you.
Hands you out of here.
Let me try. Let's go Bus.
Go draft Bus.
Come on around this corner.
All right. Selected the 22nd pick in the 2014 NFL Draft. This little quarterback lasted 2 years in the NFL before getting cut and has never played a down since.
Oh, man. That'd be that crazy motherfucker, Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Manziel is correct.
No doubt.
All right. Money, where we going?
All right, Jay. Let me go Bus as well. I'm going to switch it up a little bit.
All right. All right. This guy in a long line of Alabama running backs was selected 3rd overall in the 2012 NFL Draft, lasting only 3 years in Cleveland before washing out, bouncing around the league. Who is he?
Oh, man. What's the guy's name?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I can't think.
This is fantastic.
You got him?
This is fantastic.
I can't. Oh, fucking! I'm gonna say his name. I'm gonna say. Do you know regular? Do you know?
I do know. I do 100% know this one.
Eddie Lacy.
Eddie Lacy is incorrect. You about to get kicked out twice.
That's wrong.
We gonna have you back on next week just so you can get kicked out of trivia. Answering wrong twice.
Shout out to Trent Richardson, man.
Trent Richardson is correct. Yes.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Beat it.
Yeah, that kid got released from a Canadian team, man.
Yeah, he did.
Hey, Money.
Yo.
You gotta get out of here, bro.
No doubt.
And then there were 2.
Good luck.
Oh man. All right.
Coming after the champ.
Scott,
what's
we're
up,
going
baby?
Buster Steels.
Hey, let's go Steels.
All right. Drafted in the 7th round, 192nd overall in the 1990 draft by the Denver Broncos. This wide receiver is now a Hall of Fame tight end.
Oh, wow.
It's now a tight end.
You got to count?
5.
Oh, my God.
4,
Shannon Sharp.
Ooh, Shannon Sharp is correct.
Go ahead, Reg.
Why you didn't give me these, Jay? Why you didn't give me these, man?
All right, Al, where we going, man?
Let's stay bust. Let me keep going in bust.
Stay bust.
Hopefully,
All
I'm
right.
still in the easier ones.
All right. Let's see. Drafted 3rd overall in the 1994 NFL draft by the Washington Redskins out of the university that produced Peyton Manning. Who is this NFL draft bust? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On to you, regular Scott, to put Al out of the game and win this week's trivia.
If it's the right guy, I think it's
4,
the black guy that used
3,
to play for, like James Johnson or something like that.
Wow, man. That's a black name.
That's a black ass name. But it ain't James Johnson. Like, by the way, it was just said Tyrone Biggums. But no, it's not James Johnson.
Right. He picked the most black name
Right.
in the name.
Pookie. Scott was like, he plays the black dude.
I know he's black.
Ray
I know
Ray.
we black.
James Johnson.
James Johnson. Yo.
I wanted to emphasize and make sure everyone understood exactly the picture that I was trying to draw. That's all. I wanted you to visualize James Johnson by the way I said his name.
Right.
Look, all y'all got a picture as soon as I said it.
Yeah, because the quarterback I'm thinking about got a pick in his head and everything. Like, he black as fuck.
Can I give the answer?
Yeah.
It's TM.
I can't believe it. I thought about it like as the buzz is going off, but it's Heath Schuler.
Heath Schuler is correct. Yes. All right. Well, Scott, it's on you.
Let's go back to Steels. That's the only one I seem to know.
Steals. All right. Let's get to Steel here. All right. Drafted in the 17th round, 200th overall in the 1956 draft. This quarterback, now in the Hall of Fame, is the first signal caller that played for an NFL dynasty. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I don't know.
Al, for the opportunity to put Scott out of his misery.
Let's just say that's why they called me the champ.
Wow.
Because when he gets to the late rounds, he got the endurance. He's been doing the legwork to knock that dude out.
Oh man.
The quarterback for the first NFL dynasty is Bart Starr. That's Bart Starr.
Starr is correct. Yes, sir. Congrats, Al. The champ remains the champ. Even in you winning tune-up fights now. Man.
Hey, in wrestling, battle royals. I can work in battle royals too.
Wow. Yeah. Well,
that was fun.
Yeah, good work. That was fun.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats, Al. Well, shit, you won, man. What's your parting shot? What you got for me?
Man, I just enjoyed this show. Fellas, thanks for coming on. Like, good work, good picking, good radio. So enjoyed it. Other than that, everybody be safe. Have a good week, man.
Damn right. All right. Money, what you got for me, man? What's your parting shot?
Hey man, nothing too crazy. I appreciate being on the flagship. Appreciate that, my brothers.
Yeah.
Much like always with the Defy Life team, the Defy Life crew. Check out my show, Unsupervised Spinoff Podcast, with West Coast Jay and Hollywood Paul, as well as Speak the Truth with the whole crazy ensemble over there.
All right.
Yeah, man, Y'all already know what I'm gonna say, man. I'm gonna leave it with that. But if you're not rocking with Defy Life, shit, what's your life about?
Yeah, absolutely. Regular Scott, what's good, man? What you got for me?
Just to echo everything, it's always a pleasure to be on the flagship. Appreciate the invite. This was a lot of fun. Terrence, I believe this is the first time we've gotten to do a podcast together, so that was really cool to do one with you. That was great. Money, it's always a good time. Champ, you bested me this time. I'll be back.
Oh yeah.
I may make the questions, but sometimes I like to try my hand at the crown. So I'll be back to challenge for the crown. But you the champ for now.
That's what's up.
No doubt. JR, appreciate the invite. This was always a blast. Love coming on here. Check out Take a Knee from Marvel vs. DC. We got some big things planned. We got a couple guests lined up that I'm really excited for. And looking forward to a good 2020. And this should be hopefully you guys enjoyed the draft and don't draft Zach Bond.
Word. Oh,
Wow.
man. Damn good. Right. Terrence, what you got for me, man? Give me that parting shot.
Man, I don't have anything, man. I just really enjoyed doing this draft with you all and having, just a camaraderie, being able to talk to him, make jokes about money, his worst pick that he had during the draft.
Whatever.
I feel like I need to do this more often with you all, so I enjoyed myself. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for joining us. Yes, you do need to do this more often. We look forward to hearing your voice more here. Yeah, thanks, y'all. This has been fun. I always look forward to the draft every year and having, all my fellow draft nerds join me to put together a mock. And I like the twist that we added this year of having the picks announced, and nobody knows until they're announced. So I think we may continue that for next year. But y'all enjoy the draft, man. Again, it's like Christmas for me. And really quickly, prayers up to Eddie George and his family, NFL great running back, and Eddie George, his family. His father has been diagnosed as battling coronavirus. Shout out to Eddie George, one of my all-time favorites. So prayers to his family. So that's all we got, y'all. This is a shout out to Pooh. Did have to leave at a family emergency. Hope all is well. We love you, Pooh. And love you guys, man. Again, thanks for joining me. This has been episode 154 of the Defy Life Podcast. We'll talk to y'all next week. Enjoy the draft. Until then, Defy Life.
Defy Life.
Defy Life.
Defy Life.
We're told that greatness is exceptional, when it should be expected. You choose every day to live your life intentionally, without apology for how bright your light may shine. So go be great. Go be brilliant. Go be you. Go defy life. The Defy Life movement is one that speaks to each of us in its own way. Defy Life Gear speaks to us all by reminding us that one size does not fit all. Visit defylifegear.com to get fitted for greatness.